Hello and welcome. Happy holidays to one and all from Cali Photo Sports Network. I'm Bo Furtick. I'll be working alongside Ramon Scott, bringing you today's 8th annual SDFNL Showcase game from Mission Bay High School. But I'm now joined by one of the founders, the guy who has really made it happen, make this happen, Montel Allen. We talk about all these star athletes between the sidelines, but you and Reuben have been the MVP. What has it taken to get to this point here today, playing today?
I mean, just a lot of hard work and persistence. I mean, we really care about our community of San Diego and the San Diego youth that play in it. It's just been something that's been near and dear to our heart, and we've been able to just grow every year and mature every year and put it together a better product every year. So we're just very excited about this game, especially with the COVID thing going on. It's just really, really important for us to be able to put this on and have these kids have another opportunity.
We heard that you guys were close to getting Petco. How close was it?
I don't know if it's as close as everybody's saying it is, but it was close. We rock and roll. We're rock and rolling and discussing with them. We got to really definitely give a shout out to the guys over there at San Diego Padres organization. They were very helpful. They were very open to listen to what we had to say. Even the committee for the Holiday Bowl, they're very open to having to say, but I just think it's just such a short window. They weren't really making the adjustments for us to be able to participate.
Nice. Both you and Reuben have had sons that have gone through this, really given them an opportunity, which has allowed you and Reuben to create this opportunity. Just talk about SDFNL.
SDFNL is just kind of a brand that we better put together to be able to help kids that need it, that need that extra exposure, need to understand the recruiting process, need to understand what it does to go to college, understand time management, and the whole gamut. Like even this year we put in the symposium to talk about the goods, the bads, the uglies of college, so we don't have them return anymore. So we're really maturing again with that process as well. And with the changes in the portal, we got to make sure we navigate these kids the right way.
A lot of exciting things obviously happening with you and Reuben. Talk about the things you're looking forward to in the future.
For us in the future, just growing. I mean, we would love to be the opening game for the Holiday Bowl. I'm going to speak it into existence.
There you go.
If we can. And be able to give back to our community. And just support more and more kids. The more we can do it, the better off it's going to get, the more we get kids an opportunity to go to college. So, excited.
And then, obviously, you and Reuben going through your challenges, overcoming obstacles in your 8th year. Just talk about what it takes to get to this point. Obviously, there's a lot of kids out here, whether it be entrepreneurs, whether it be great athletes at the next level. Maybe some advice to those people and like what it takes to create something like of this magnitude.
I think the first thing you need to do is get a mentor. Definitely based on a mentor, someone that's already done it or somebody that's doing it. Mine personally is Mr. Don Ings. He's the one that kind of got us all started. He helped us out financially to kind of get where we're going. Now we're in our 8th year. Right. The Ings family, wonderful people. They from La Jolla Country Day, they just kind of gave us our boost. I've always looked to him as a businessman, and he's kind of showed me some way. I got other people all the way. Mr. Scully, Nick Schlossberg, and the Schlossberg family. They've all been there for us when we need them to kind of open the door and show us the way, because this is a business. It starts to navigate more than a business than just, hey, putting on the game or putting on an event. Now we got to do other things to be able to, we're not monetizing it, but to be able to structure it the way we're successful. Otherwise, we're failed. So, man, it's so many people we can go down the line that we have to help, but those 3 stand out in mind. Jeff Hutzler, another one, the AD over there at La Jolla Country Day, a guy that pushed me in the range to say, go do this, and pushed me and Reuben in the ranks that this is a great idea for us to do. So, man, it's wonderful. It's just a wonderful opportunity.
Well, it all starts with you, Reuben. Last question. What are you looking forward to the most? Obviously, the game got canceled last week. It's on today. What are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to the next 60 seconds for this bad boy to kick off, man.
Right, just to get it started.
Because, man, it was nerve-wracking when they canceled it, but we're able to pull it off. We were able to do protocol. We had one kid that had COVID. Right. We had to kind of remove him from the game and do everything, but he was a great kid. His family was awesome. They called us to make sure we know. So we were able to do the things we were supposed to do, man, and we're just blessed, man, to be able to have these kids out here and do this thing, man. Right. Last one thing before we go,
of course.
I want to give a definitely shout out to my buddy Tim Wadholm. He's going through some things with his health and everything. I love him to death. He's my best friend in the whole wide world. I hope he kind of, he keeps fighting through this, and I know he's watching the game via stream.
Well, like I said, man, you and Reuben, true MVPs, man. Much love. Obviously, you guys have done so much for the community, and to put on something like this for 8 years straight says a lot about you guys.
Appreciate it.
So I know it takes a lot of sacrifice. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, and I don't think I want to know what goes on behind the scenes, because I'm sure you guys went through a lot.
A lot of arguing, man. A lot of arguing, a lot of discussions. A lot of love. But at the end of the day, it's all love, and it's all for the best benefits for kids. So we're good to go.
Boy, enjoy the game, man. We're gonna have Reuben at halftime, so we'll chop it up with him and catch up. And,
absolutely, man.
And we'll go from there.
Appreciate it, man. You guys enjoy the game, man. The fans out there enjoy the game. Appreciate you guys coming out.
Montel, thank you, man.
All right.
Yep, you're good to go. Thank you, Montel. That was Montel Adams. Montel Allen, one of the co-founders of the SDFNL. Obviously, great things happening here. We're at Mission Bay High School. Kickoff is at 6 in a couple minutes. Ramon, Mr. East County, what are you looking forward to the most out of this game?
Well, I think we've got a few big-time stars here, and we have a lot of guys who are looking for their last chance to make a statement on a football field. Look, we've had 2 All-Star games so far, Bo, locally.
Right.
Maybe the first one, the Spanos Classic, has the top talent. The McCossie Bowl, with only one team representing San Diego, also great talent. There's great talent here. It's not saying it's a step down, but if anything, this might be the most interesting
of
the bowl game, of the All-Star games, because of that factor. Some kids have many offers, Division II, strewn about from some familiar schools that Montel works with. We're all familiar with them, and we'll talk about them throughout the night. But for some of these guys, they want to make one last chance, one last statement before they move on.
And on that note, we are going to pause for our national anthem.
I'll call you.
I hope for music to your ears, because we're going to be in your head all night long.
He's trying to take your bike off 14 times and I've had to stop.
I'm from Florida. We're looking for Jacksonville Jaguar quarterbacks and tight ends.
Good luck with that.
Hold your microphones tight.
Yeah. Run. Is that what they're seeing? Okay. And thank you for staying with us here on the Cali Photo Network. I'm Bo Fertig alongside my partner Ramon Scott, bringing you the 8th annual SDFNL Showcase game. A lot of players on this field going to be playing at the next level. Talking to Reuben Pena, one of the co-founders before the game, and he said at least a third of these guys are going to be playing at the next level. So high quality competition here today.
Yeah, we'll be talking all night about the offers that a lot of these guys have. You're going to hear the same schools for the most part over and over. And when you get involved with Montel and his group of people that he's familiar with, I always say it's a pipeline in a way, right? He works kind of with the same schools. He's also a big advocate for trying to bring back Division II football in California. And maybe we could ask him about that, but it really would make a big difference if there was a little bit better, closer of an opportunity for a lot of these kids. They would possibly, I don't want to say shun opportunities in Kansas and Iowa and Minnesota, where some of these guys are going to end up, but it would be great to play Division II football right here in the state of California.
And the 8th annual SDFNL Showcase game is underway. Blue crosses the 30, now to the 35, spins around the 40, and falls just beyond the 40-yard line. That's where Blue Stars will start their first offensive possession at their own 44. So you talked about schools. There's around 40 schools, around 80 kids here playing today. So it's great to see all these athletes in a game that we thought might not even happen. So
right, Montel had to be sitting on pins and needles all week. That was Jamari Jordan. Nice return, the kid out of Morris High School. For Montel, now that the game's kicked off, he can breathe a sigh of relief. A 1 week delay to get this game, change the location. Great crowd tonight.
Elijah Ortiz in the game, quarterback from Helix. He hands the ball off to number 3, Matthew Jaime.
Still game. It's going to be a first down, blue team.
The rosters were changed last minute, so we might be doing a few corrections ourselves, but nonetheless, picked up a first down now in white territory.
It's a big opportunity for Elijah Ortiz, right? I mean, he's someone who really didn't see the action maybe that he thought he was going to see. Some even said he might end up being the starting quarterback heading into the season for Helix.
Yeah, Ortiz, 6'3", stands at 190. Obviously backed up sophomore quarterback Rylan Jesse. But they were Grossmont Hills champs and D1 champs. So he got to be a part of some of that success.
Look, he was given an opportunity to compete with Jesse, but Helix's man was Jesse, and it was going to be Jesse. He's only going to be a junior next year, so that's where they're at. And Ortiz kept his focus and got his chance to play a little bit. So this is a big opportunity for him tonight.
Yoakley at the bottom of the screen. Ortiz will roll that way. Hits Yoakley at the 42. Makes a move, but great pursuit by the white side. Or excuse me, by the red. That was number 26. Getting out there from San Diego, Michael Savage, knocking out Savion Yoakley for a 9-yard gain.
How about Savvy Yoakley? This is his third All-Star game already, Bo. You know,
no, his second.
He played in the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl in Dallas.
Oh, did he?
And
really?
He caught 4 passes. He caught all his targets, and he was. They didn't use him like I wanted them to use him. They did not try to necessarily go up top, but he played. That game was played on the 20th, so he played in the Spanos game. He played in the Blue-Gray Classic. Caught 4 targets in that game, and the West won.
Darian Whaley into the game for the first time today. The Cathedral Catholic running back. Had a solid season. Didn't get a lot of looks. He plays fullback. Toss to the left side. Plants his foot, gets upfield, and gets to the first down marker. And it looks like he'll have enough for a blue first down. Hunter Ledesma, Mount Carmel, picks up just enough to get the first down.
Yeah, first team all-leaguer. Ledesma had 500 yards rushing this year along with 6 touchdowns. Also caught 47 passes for 400 yards and 3 scores.
Ortiz remains in there behind snap. Yoakley at the bottom of the screen. To the right of Ortiz. Ortiz will play fake. Throw the quick hitch to the outside. And nice grab.
Completion. 20.
Derek Mencken on the grab. Call that a 5-yard catch. Bringing up a 2nd and 5.
Yeah, Mankins been making the trip up from Southwest El Centro, playing for the Eagles. Second team All-Imperial Valley. 29 receptions this year with a touchdown. And I remember him flexing big time against Calexico.
Ledesma remains in the backfield. Yoakley and Jaime to the right of Ortiz, who's taken blue down on their first offensive possession. Hands it off to Ledesma off the right side, has some green in front, and runs out of bounds at the 20-yard line. That will be just enough for a red first down, or excuse me, blue first down.
So Ledesma's had some schools in contact with him and some offers, Willamette and Clark. So these are schools you're going to hear a lot of these guys have already had contact with. Some of these guys will end up being teammates at the next level because there's that many, there's about a dozen schools that have players on this field tonight holding offers to go to their school, and some of them as many as 4 or 5 players playing tonight.
Whaley back into the game to the left hip pocket of Ortiz. First and 10 at the 20. The quick shovel pass to Yoakley. Yoakley gets upfield, spins near the first down marker, and looks like he'll pick up 8 or 9 for a nice first down gain.
Well, you think of Yoakley as, what do you think, Bo? A quarterback? A receiver? How about a running back right there?
Well, I know
I don't know if that was a pass. Did they flip it to him a little bit?
He had 42 total touchdowns, right? 22 passing, 17 rushing, 3 receiving.
And not only that, 4 in one game, different methods. Return man, rushing it, passing it, and catching it.
And I don't think Blue has a kicker for this game, so the official was asking to speak to the kicker. Ortiz keeps, gets to the edge, and gets inside the 5 to bring up 1st and goal for the Blue. But back to Yoakley, he said, hey, I could kick, and it just automatically went to Cordell Stewart. The guy just never comes off the field.
Yeah, and he does do punting as well, so we'll see. But this is a good drive right now by the Blue.
Yeah, great opening drive.
Ortiz, he was at Torrey Pines before he went to Helix. 3-star quarterback, really. So just never got his opportunity. I'd love to see him throw a touchdown pass right here because he doesn't have one this year. This would be a perfect opportunity.
I was just going to say. Two backs in the backfield. They'll hand it off to Whaley inside the 5. Gets hit at the goal line and will be brought down for a gain of 0.
That's his first one on the tackle, joined by his red teammates. 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal.
Elias Ketashay of Mount Carmel was in there also leading the stop. We got to talk about some defense. Red's going to have to try to come up with a stop.
The Blue side, or Blue Stars, went through 3 coaches.
Yeah.
In leading this squad. It was Bert Grossman, and then the game was canceled. Bert was on vacation. He had to stop. And then Greg Brady couldn't make it. He was ill. And now it's Nick Riccardouli out of the Rock Academy, but he's a free agent. Toss to the far side. Great open field tackle by the Red squad. And that will bring up a 3rd and goal at the 5.
Great contact there. The Blue with Coach Marquez of Crawford, but the Red has some pretty notable assistants. Coach Tate of Mission Bay and Coach Murphy also.
This is the opening drive for the Blue Stars. Start each quarter with 13 minutes. This is a 6-minute drive for the Blue side. A great opening drive by Coach Riccardouli. And the Blue Stars, Whaley in the backfield. Ortiz play fakes, looks over the middle, tosses it up in the back of the end zone. And just out the outstretched hand of a receiver. I couldn't get the number.
Looked like Mankin possibly back there was number 9.
That would make sense, the tight end out of Southwest. So,
here you go.
Yeah, I did hear that correctly pregame. Blue is without their kicker. It was supposed to be Daniel Montes of Chula Vista, but the only kicker we have here today is Scripps Ranch's Thomas Rohrer. He'll be doing all the kicking duties here today.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Although I wouldn't have minded to see Yoakley give it a crack.
Well, he is the holder.
The kick is up and good.
Hey, I got an early favorite for the most valuable player. That was a great drive, but if he kicks for both teams, he's got a kind of an advantage over everybody on the field. Nice story.
And opening drive for the Blue Stars ends in a 21-yard field goal by Thomas Rohrer to start the scoring 3-0 with 6:44 remaining in the first. So, great opening drive.
Yeah. Bo, when you see All-Star games, people think that there's going to be a track meet. A lot of times the defenses are ahead in All-Star games, and I don't know if we necessarily saw anything special out of the Red effort there. I thought that was a great drive by the Blue team. Did a real nice job. They couldn't cash in, so credit the Red defense there. It doesn't matter who wins. I was going to research the series history, but who cares?
Well, it was on that opening drive, right? Ortiz threw a couple nice balls, quick hitches, obviously nothing beyond 10 yards, but nice tight spiral. Looked like he had good just flow to him playing behind snap.
Well, look, if you look at everybody in this game, and maybe we could talk about a couple of the bigger stars. I mean, you saw him on that drive with Yoakley, for example, and I mentioned him playing in that blue-gray. There's 3 blue-gray national all-star games, and he was in one of them, but there's not a lot of 3-star players in this. Ortiz is one of them.
Right.
I think there might be 2 or 3, and Ortiz is one of them. So even though people in San Diego County football know who Ortiz is, and if you're watching the Friday night highlights, maybe you don't. So that's why I say for Elijah, this is a great chance, and he'll probably be sharing a little time, but it was great to see him leading that drive.
Roar will boot this one to the goal line, kicks up, and that will be a touchback for Roar. As Red comes onto the field.
I've got a field goal, I've got a touchback, I'm leading all the statistics. That's Thomas Roar, Scripps Ranch state champion Thomas Roar, might I add. He's also a pretty good soccer player, one-star athlete, Bo. And 75 of 77 on PATs this year. 24 of those touchbacks. And he hits big kicks in some big games. Not necessarily the clutch kicks didn't require him as much, but just key field goals for Thomas Roar and the state champion Scripps Ranch Falcons.
Mission Bay quarterback Clash Osborne will start behind snap for the Red Stars. Osborne, 44 touchdowns passing and a dozen touchdowns rushing, 56 on the season, and he gets rocked in the backfield. Number 57 or number 62, Khalil Keys out of Lincoln.
Yeah, Key was really a standout in some of the practice sessions. He's quick and physical and also could pick up on coverage, but right there he got a sack.
And we now have Erica Cardenas, our sideline reporter, next to Darian Whaley. Erica, take it away.
Hey guys, I'm here with Darian Whaley. He's part of the blue team, obviously. Darian is a star, if you guys don't know. Darian, how excited were you to get invited to the SDFNL game?
Getting invited to the SDFNL game was pretty exciting. When I got the DM on Twitter, I was like, oh wow. I was pumped when it got canceled and all that. It was kind of a bummer, but I'm looking forward to it right now.
Is there anyone that, that's not a Don that you were looking forward to playing with the most out here or playing again?
No, I was just looking forward to get back on
the Dons made a historic run this season. You guys won against the Folsom Bulldogs in the D1 AA State Championship. What's the biggest memory you're going to take away from this season?
Biggest memory I think I'm going to take away from this season was my quarterback, Josiah Vann, running in for a touchdown. That was a QB sneak. That was a pretty big thing for the Dons.
All right, Darian, one last question. What do you love most about playing football?
The thing I love most about playing football is just being able to hit somebody, pass the play, the whistle's over.
Well, thanks, Darian. Have a great rest of your final game. All right, Bo, we'll send it back to you guys up top.
And that was Darian Whaley of the Blue Stars. 79 carries for 506 yards and 6 touchdowns on the season. This is Osborne steps up in the pocket. He'll tuck and run, slide near the 15, and that will bring up a 4th down. Whaley had 7 total touchdowns on the season.
Yeah, and Whaley, again, you talk about the schools. There's some of them, okay, Black Hills State, Doane College, and Southwest Minnesota State with a real pipeline out of San Diego, out of the spring and right now. And, knowing their family a little bit, I wouldn't be surprised if Whaley ends up at Southwest Minnesota State. Southwest Minnesota State, hope I said that right the first time, but Southwest Minnesota State's picked up several players from San Diego, and he could be another one of them.
Whaley averaged 15.5 yards per reception and 6.5 yards on the ground. 6 rushing touchdowns and 2 receiving touchdowns, 8 total on the season. Behind really the best back in California in Lucky Sutton. Nice booming punt by Roar at the 50. The ball's muffed, but will be jumped on at midfield, and that's where the Blue Stars will start their second offensive possession. So Blue Stars drive down, 55-yard opening drive and in a field goal, and the red side goes 3 and out to give Blues back the ball at midfield.
Well, that's not the last we're going to hear from Clash Osborne, tonight, Bo, I'm sure. I mean, he's one of these top names in this game for sure. There's a reason. Look, there's not many players beyond Division II even make all CIF, but Clash Osborne from Division IV, from a great team, Mission Bay League champions, went to the championship game of Division IV and lost, but incredible year for Osborne, rewarded with that second team all CIF berth.
Ortiz remains in the game, hands it off to Ledesma. He'll go off the left side for a gain of 2, bringing up a 2nd and 8. .420 and counting here in the opening quarter.
Wow.
Turned out to be a beautiful night.
Yeah.
We thought there was going to be some rain.
Throw that in with the 1 week delay, and you saw the forecast, and the rain got out of here just in time. Great night. All the fans on one side, but that's great. It's fine. Ortiz,
play fake, looks over the middle, has his receiver. That's Matthew Jaime out of San Ysidro inside the 30. And Jaime with a 24-yard reception brings it to the 26. And Ortiz looking good here. Looks over the middle, has his receiver. That's Matthew Jaime out of San Ysidro inside the 30.
500 yards on the ground. Jaime, really, he does it all. I mean, he really can do several things, but he was a rusher, and he also, carried the ball.
And Ledesma off the right side gets it near the 20, call it the 22, for a gain of a couple. Jaime, running back, but in this game is considered an athlete, quote unquote.
You could say that again.
Yeah, 75 carries for 517 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, averaged about 7 yards per pop. Two-way player, averaged over 100 yards per game. 100 scrimmage yards per game, that is. Ledesma remains in the backfield. One receiver to the left of Ortiz. Jaime to the right in the slot. Handoff up the middle, gets to the 20. And that will bring up a 3rd and 3.
Lamar Webb, a classical academy, making that stop. Playing defensive tackle. Might see him on the offensive line as well tonight, 6'4", 245. Number 66 usually with the Caymans.
And I mean, that's one of the reasons why I love this game, is because you get guys from Classical Academy, you get guys from San Ysidro, often overlooked in smaller divisions, but great athletes. I mean, San Ysidro won their first playoff game due to guys like Mekhi Jackson and Matthew Jaime. Great athletes who are just overlooked because they play at smaller programs.
That's what makes this game so unique and special, and shows the commitment of the SDFNL to getting these type of players in a special game like this.
Ortiz rolls left, stops, pops, throws it to the end zone, and just overthrows his intended receiver. Looked like number 11, Lorenzo Miller out of Westview. 1:51 on the clock.
Looks like Jose Jackson was down there providing some coverage. The Castle Park star.
Yeah, Jose Jackson, another guy playing on a 1-9 team, overlooked, but starting quarterback for the Trojans. Just an exceptional athlete, two-sport player that is, plays basketball and football.
No, he was definitely first team All-Metro Pacific, if I'm not mistaken, Bo, and picked up an offer to Shadron, and that's big. Shadron State, another one of the connections through this game. Shadron has been seeing this game for years. The athletes that come out of this game have succeeded at Shadron State.
Yoakley in motion. He'll get the toss on 4th down. Gets to the edge. Can he get the first? And is tackled before he gets to the first down marker. Great pursuit by the Red Stars. And a turnover on downs will give Red back the ball inside their own 20.
Yeah, and I've got guys like Danny Davis, Michael Savage there making the stop. Davis, the great defensive back, of course, out of San Pasqual. Talk about a great story, huh? How about San Pasqual Eagles? And also Savage out of San Diego High. Been producing for the Cavers for 3 strong years.
Yeah, you talk about athletes. Danny Davis is starting quarterback for San Pasqual, and he's the starting corner here today. So when you get guys that can play on a football field, led the team with just under 670 rushing yards on the season. You get great athletes, you could almost put them anywhere, and Danny Davis is starting corner here today for the red side.
Yeah, I mentioned some of the athletes that did play in the Spanos game. Like I said, that's the
Davis
top
was
game.
One of those
Davis
guys.
was one of those guys. So one of the top players definitely out here on this field. I think about 70 athletes, Bo, maybe a little over 70, 71.
Yeah, I had between 70 and 80, depending on who was playing and who wasn't today. Obviously, a couple injuries and a few COVID cases. This run back up the middle on back-to-back opportunities, and that will go for no gain, bringing up a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, I'm going to give some credit there to Jeremiah Sokami out of Morse. He worked hard to get stronger in the weight room, and it's paid off. His 6 foot, 215-pound frame, 28 tackles this year with the Tigers.
3rd and 4. Osborne, 2 receivers to his left, 2 to the right. Running back in his left hip pocket. Osborne will look right, will fire away over the middle, and has his intended receiver. Call that a gain of 5 and a Red Stars first down, their first down of the game with 24 seconds.
When you think of Clash, I think a lot of people, especially my age, Bo, think of the Clash, right? Radio Clash. And actually, that's how Clash got his name. His dad, Jason, named him after the rock band Clash, the Clash.
And his mom just confirmed.
I don't need to tell that story. These people know this story already.
Everyone knows it by now. If you don't, there's something wrong with you. As Osborne hands the ball off again for a short gain of 2. And that will end the opening quarter.
Wow.
A fast-moving opening quarter. It helps when you have an opening drive chew off about 6 or 7 minutes.
Well, you talk about all-star games, right? And to be honest, I'd say the other 2 games, I didn't see the McCossie Bowl. I just had to follow the reports. But I thought the Spanos game was kind of clunky. And unless they're going to do some gerrymandering or fix the format a little bit, the North is going to continue to beat up on the South Bow, I'm afraid.
Yeah, five
in that game.
Games. That's something I need to ask Reuben too. I wanted to ask Montel before the game. Is there's so much that goes into just choosing and selecting what side, what player plays on what side, and obviously, speaking to Reuben a little bit, he didn't say this directly, but this is what I got from it. And you have a big, talented running back in Darian Whaley. Okay, we're going to give that side Darian Whaley and then another skilled receiver on the other side. That just seems how they kind of played it out.
They break the teams up into position groups, if you will. I mean, there's a little flexibility, obviously, on defense and ends on offensive line, but they kind of do it like a draft, but they're not competing. They're just taking turns picking guys for the 2 teams, trying to make it equitable. And there's some interesting matchups because you have guys from the same program on opposite sides. In fact, one of the awesome things tonight that I really was looking forward to, and I tweeted out before last week, the date of the game, was that the Yoakley brothers would end up matched up on one another. And Coach Ron Berner tweeted back, he said, "I see it every day in practice. It's a thing of beauty." Unfortunately, Antoine has a injured collarbone, not playing tonight. So talk about a guy who needs a look, Antoine Yoakley. Savvy too, but
and Osborne's pocket collapses. He gets out of bounds, runs out of real estate. Not before he gains about 2 or 3, bringing up 3rd and manageable for the Red Stars. As mentioned, Osborne did have a dozen touchdowns rushing. So we always talk about his arm, his downfield pass ability. And, when a guy averages close to 6 yards per carry, you got to pay attention to that.
Yeah, and he did pretty well in the Spanos game, I thought. as well.
He did have a passing touchdown.
He worked
Xavier Vann.
Worked with Akili Smith, the former Grossmont College, Lincoln High, Cincinnati Bengal, Oregon Duck, quarterbacking great.
Yeah, once again, the pocket collapsing, and Osborne is just going to have to throw this one away. Great job by the Blue Stars front line, not allowing Osborne to really set his back foot and throw. Before that back foot's planted, he's on the run throwing. So,
yeah, I'm not saying I'm waiting for Clash to do something, but I think we still are going to see some explosiveness from him. Like I said, in these All-Star games, especially as good as these defenses have kind of looked here in the first half, it's tough sledding. Always caution people who think they're going to see guys racing up and down the field at All-Star games, especially at the prep level.
Well, Osborne was definitely a fan favorite heading into this one. Obviously playing on his home field, having a familiar face in receiver Keller Feltman, who is the second leader receiver for the Buccaneers, having guys like Xavier Vann, Matt Martin out of Mission Hills, Jordan Mahan, who a lot of people slept on, a guy out of Mar Vista, tall receiver, big downfield threat, and that ball will be punted, will roll about to the 15. That's where the Blue Stars will start their third offensive possessions.
Yeah, Bo, just really special to have this opportunity. I had my doubts that the game was going to go down, actually, after what we've seen. We saw that this game was interrupted by, some unfortunate news regarding the pandemic. A couple players, came down with some virus, had to take out, took a week off. They always say, they only get 3 practices. They actually had 4 practices. They had 1 practice last week, had to shut it down, came back this week with 3 practices, came out here for the game at Mission Bay.
Now, for the first time today, Mount Carmel quarterback Caden Gant, he'll hand off, he'll keep it. Nice, great job by Gant and faking the handoff, had me looking towards Whaley. Good job by Whaley, too, and playing that ball out to the edge.
What a year for the Sun Devils under Coach Drew Wessling, and again was a big part of it. He really exploded onto the scene with 2,300 yards and 17 touchdowns, also rushed for over 350 yards and 5 scores. First team All-Leaguer, also pretty good basketball player, and a lefty quarterback.
Yeah, I saw really for the league championship game against Poway, completed 20 of 23 passes. So Gant, the southpaw, throws out one out of bounds and had an open receiver downfield. But in a big game against Poway, right, the league championship game, 200 yards, only had 1 touchdown, but no interceptions on the season. He completed 70% of his passes, 17 touchdowns, 6 picks.
Yeah, and has a couple of offers, Puget Sound and Concordia.
Which sounded like it sounded like Puget Sound was the go-to for him.
Awesome.
That incomplete pass brings up a 3rd and 7. Yeah. This is the 3rd offensive possession. Elijah Ortiz started with the 2 possessions behind quarterback. Opening drive ended in a field goal. This handoff, play fake, throw it up to Whaley, who gets knocked down. A big hit from behind by the red side.
Yeah, and that was Davis Langfelt out of Steel Canyon. Second team all Grossmont Hills League defensive back, 5'9", 165. The flag is down though, Bo.
I don't get fooled too much on play fakes and handoffs, but Gant has got me on back-to-back times. So kudos to you, Caden, because that doesn't happen very often. I'm not going to blame it on the bad angle we have at Mission Bay. But Gaden, those are the small things that I'm sure Drew Wessling, a previous quarterback, that teaches those young players. It's the little things that matter. And Caden,
look, the things that went on at Mount Carmel, yes, Coach Wessling is bringing a new winning tradition, bringing it back to Mount Carmel, but it was like a whirlwind of events, following his arrival with a top star like Virgin, just the quality of players they had all around, the fact that they were kind of a rising program, they were set up for a pretty successful season, but to get Coach Wessling in there and just do what they did, it almost wasn't any surprise they got off to that incredible undefeated start after, 9 games?
And the toss to the far side of the field. That's Mekhi Jackson. And Jackson gets hit up pretty good after a gain of 2.
Yeah, Bo. I see my man down there, Alex Faea, getting the stop. Bo, listen, you talk about...
Faea, by the way.
Well, I better... Listen.
I spoke to him before the game, and he made sure I had everything pronounced.
I got you.
The A, the ah.
Well, I better get it right, because listen to this. You talk about neighbors. I have a person who lives right on top of my condo. It's the Faea family, so I better get it right. They live right on top of me in the condominium complex. That's my brother, Alex.
Gant rolls left, has his receiver at the 50, but unable to bring it in. That intended receiver was Derek Mankin.
I don't mean in the same complex. I mean like right above me, okay? I got to be quiet.
I mean, if the
Very
family
nice.
is anything
Oh,
like Alex, I'm sure you hear them.
They are
throughout the night.
they are so nice, believe me. I'm really fond of him. Also, he helped me out. I was covering the CIF track meet, and he was like my aide for the day. He got done with his event,
Quality
came and
kid.
helped me out.
Just a quality
He was
kid.
handing me the results. He would get the results, how they printed out, bring it to the reporter.
Right.
He was doing that. So
And I can appreciate that. Being a reporter, Gant tries to get a quick screen. Nobody was there. Had a couple linemen leak out as if a screen was being set up, but Caden,
bring it to the
unfortunately,
reporter. He was doing that.
here's an instant replay. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, it's
being a
35.
reporter, that just went the wrong way. Tries to
I'm
get a
John
quick screen.
out of
Nobody
Mission Hills,
was
second
there.
team All Avocado Mission Hills Defensive Lineman of the Year. He's got plenty of offers. Ottawa, Kansas, Bethany, Adams State, Baker U, University of St. Mary. Really popular in that crowd.
So we've seen anywhere around 20 offensive plays, and that was probably the first one we saw where there was just some miscommunication between the running back and quarterback. Quarterback thought the screen was going to be set up to the left, running back goes to the right. Had linemen in front to block, but little miscommunication brings up a 4th down. Back in the game, Thomas Rohr, as mentioned, Daniel Montez for the blue side, unable to make today's game, so Thomas Rohr is going to get a lot of looks here today.
He's got 4.2 GPA. He's also a pretty good soccer player for the Falcons. How about Scripps Ranch, Bo?
And gets a fortuitous bounce for the Blue Stars.
That's a 45-yarder then, huh? 45, maybe even 40. Call it 46, but Bo, Scripps Ranch Falcons. Look, we had 3 straight champions, but I just want to talk about Scripps Ranch for a moment. Coach Marlon Gardnera was named Cal High Sports Coach of the Year for the state of California, and obviously we know the work that he's done, back for the Let Them Play movement, and one kind of untold, not an untold story, but maybe I could just recite it. He helped get Canyon Hills started this season when they didn't have a coach.
Not a lot of people knew that.
And he's been fighting his own health problems and saw, Coach Thompson's untimely passing, and he had to worry about his own health. He's health compromised, and he went out there and did his job every day. Coach Gardnera, congratulations.
And this is Jaden Green out of San Diego, known for his legs. And his first rushing attempt looks like he picked up enough for a 1st down or just short.
Yeah, Jaden Green. He's committed to Morgan State. 7 career touchdown passes. And also 511 yards rushing and 10 touchdowns. So, Green, I just think of how, San Diego had a great team, but they would have had Amari Ari transferred. He moved to Maryland. If they would have had him, obviously San Diego has been a great story over the last couple of years, and Green's continued tradition for the Cavers.
And we have Erica Cardenas on the Blue Star sideline with Morris star Jamari Jordan.
Hey guys, I'm down here with Jamari Jordan, a Morris Tiger. Jamari, okay, first of all, what position do you play? You're playing running. Morris football, Tigers football. What should we all know about it?
That we're athletes. We're a part of our community. We work hard. We're athletes.
What do you love most about playing football, Jamari? It's your senior season. What are you taking away from it?
Keeps me occupied. I get to meet new people. Stay out of trouble mainly.
Okay, final question, friend. You got all the talent in San Diego on one field, right? How awesome is this for you to get to play this game, and what were you looking forward to most?
Just meeting new people, new players around the county, getting to know everybody, and having a good time.
All right, so, and Ramon, we're going to send it back to you guys up top.
And thank you very much, Erica. Green had an open receiver in in blue territory, just overthrew his intended receiver. But one of the things that Jamari Jordan mentioned that I always took away from any sport really was staying occupied, staying out of trouble, and obviously schools like inner city schools like Morris and Lincoln, even more pivotal. But you just talk about sports and the camaraderie, all the positive, just the positive atmosphere that it provides for younger kids.
I love the enthusiasm of the city schools and their affinity, the coaches' affinity for one another.
They have great coaching staffs in the city. As this first down gets into blue territory for the first time today. You know, obviously Charles James leaving San Diego was a big hit for the inner city schools, but you talk about Coach Dunn out of Lincoln. I'm blanking on the Morris head coach, but he's been there forever.
Tracy McNair.
Thank you very much.
That was Caden Vonnet with the running back out of San Marcos, picking up that big first down. All right, second team all-leaguer. Did a great job there. 839 yards this year and 5 touchdowns.
Green out into the flats, hits his intended receiver, breaks a couple tackles, and will pick up a gain of 4 on first down. Burns on the tackle.
Yeah, Gio, second team, all East County, can do it offensively and defensively. He's got Doane College. Taking a look at him, he had 35 receptions this year on offense, but also a very good defensive back. He was honorable mention all league, but our staff at East County Sports felt compelled to put him on our second team. We thought that much of Gio.
Green looks far side, has his receiver, and a big hit near the line of scrimmage by the Blue Stars. Let's see that instant replay once again. Green looks and far side, has his receiver, and a big hit. And a big hit looked like number 32 from the blue side. Braden Brashears. Oh, no, you have Giovanni Burns. That's who it was. Yeah, Giovanni Burns again. So back-to-back big plays by the cornerback.
Well, and here's the thing, one thing kids do, and I'm not saying you saw this, but, they switch stickers like they used to do in the old college All-Star games.
That's what's throwing me off right now.
Yeah, but I think I might have Grizzlies sticker, but I always liked that tradition with the old college All-Star games to swap stickers with the other guy, but I don't think they can afford it nowadays.
And the third down gets stacked up at the line of scrimmage. That will bring up a 4th and short, just under 6 minutes remaining here in the second quarter.
Well, you're going to go for, Thomas Rohr's going to get worn out if we use him anymore, so we got to go for it.
And it looks like Ortiz might be back onto the field, the quarterback out of Helix. And looks like a little miscommunication. No, they're not going to punt this ball, are they? They have like a full house formation. They weren't set.
Snap.
The direct snap. No flags on the field.
They're short, though.
Yeah, they're definitely short. Definitely some miscommunication. I thought a timeout might be called by Matt Marquez, the 10-year head coach out of Crawford. But the great defensive stop by the Blue Stars with 5:17 remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think I saw Shane Cagle of Mater Dei Bow in there. He committed to this game way back in September. He wanted to be a part of it. Of course, great student, Shane Cagle, 3.93 in the classroom. And you're Modern Day, Bo, another state champion. Great year for Modern Day. It's not going to end, so, put away. Modern Day doesn't have to feel like they had to prove anything at Division III. Everyone understood how good they were. It was unfortunate they didn't get to maybe compete at the highest level, but getting that opportunity to show what they could do at the state level proved to everyone how great they were. I think it's generational talent, but I think Modern Day is here to stay as among the powers that be in San Diego County football.
Yeah, well, the proof was in the pudding when they beat Helix in the state playoff game.
Yeah, they thought maybe they weren't even getting that respect coming in, but I know that the old predictor man out of the East County picked Modern Day in that one.
We actually had a South Bay producer pick that exact score, 24-21. I said it was going to be 31-21 myself, seeing Modern Day for about a month straight. And, yeah, they were about as good as it gets. Ortiz in the game. The Helix quarterback hands the ball off to Ledesma. He has a lane, breaks a couple tackles, gets to the first down marker, and is brought down at midfield. Hard running by Ledesma in the game. And let's check out this replay. The Helix quarterback hands ball off to Ledesma. He has a lane, right side, breaks a couple tackles, gets to the first down marker, and is brought down. Shoulder pads low. And brings up a first down.
Yeah, your buddy Makai Jackson in there for the stop, Bo.
Ledesma again. Up the middle, gets hit hard, but keeps his feet moving as the pile drives backwards. And Red has the ball after the whistle. That was Lamar Webb out of Classical Academy. Had the ball in his hands. The whistle was blown, which stopped the play.
It's just so funny the way he came out of there with it, and maybe the whistle was blown, right? When they realized how awkward that looked. But, we're not going to let these guys try to get a drive together. Ledesma, he's been terrific so far.
Ortiz, play fake, rolls left. Has his intended receiver in the flat. That was Derek Mankin, the tight end. We have a flag on the field.
Boy, he's big, isn't he? 6'3", 220 Mankin. He just looks a little bit bigger out there. He has that Division I build, Bo.
And the holding call will knock the Blue Stars back 10 yards. Still second down. 4:05 remaining in the second quarter. Blue Stars 3, Red Stars 0 here on the Cali Photo Network.
It's funny because when I thought, like I said, I was researching the series, who really cares who leads the series? Well, right now, even though the kicker kicks for both teams, these guys kind of care. They were getting pretty emotional cheering when they thought they had the ball. So they are trying to win this game, no doubt. We're making fun of it because we just want to see, especially in a game like this where, like I said, the North-South, there's a little problem there. We got to kind of fix that, right? The McCosty, you got LA versus San Diego here.
Ortiz, the long bomb down the far sideline. Yokley climbs the ladder and brings it down for the biggest play of the game. And let's run that back. Ortiz knew where he was going with the ball the whole time. Ortiz, the long ball down the far sideline. More like 75-25 when it comes to Yokley. Just climbs the ladder, high points it.
Beat a pretty good guy there, too, in Jose Jackson. That's what I was talking about, Bo, that I didn't see the blue team use at that All-Star game was Yokley caught 4 short passes. He did a great job in that national game, but that's what we need to see him. That's what he specializes in when he's a receiver.
And quarterback rolls left, has some open space. Nice open field tackle as Ortiz keeps it and picks up a couple.
I mean, Yokley, first team All-CIF, we know that, but he was the quarterback of the Vaqueros, and even though he might be a Division I player as a receiver or defensive back, he really wants to go to San Diego State, man, if you're listening out there. But he was quarterback all year because he stepped in to take that role so that they could be, and look how successful the Vaqueros were.
He led Division III with over 1,200 rushing yards, right? So
yeah, and not to mention 1,800 yards passing.
So with all the eyes on him, he still produced in the backfield.
Gosh.
Ortiz, he'll roll right. Quick hit to Darian Whaley in the open field. Keeps his feet moving. And a tackle for loss. The swing pass goes for nothing.
Danny Davis, how about that?
Yeah, we've mentioned Danny Davis a few times today. Just a physical guy.
Yeah, you mentioned him as the quarterback, but you look at him right there. That is a great-looking defensive back right there in my eyes.
Yeah, because Darian Whaley is the bigger back, especially in open field, and Davis just took his legs out. 3rd and 9.
I'm not apologizing for 3-0 right now.
No.
I don't mind.
No,
I mean,
it's been a good game. The biggest thing, as you mentioned, these All-Star games can get sloppy, and this has been a fairly clean game in the first half.
Credit to the coaching staffs on that.
Ortiz looks near side, has a guy over the middle, and got hit on the throw, had Matthew Jaime wide open. But the pressure up the middle brings up a 4th and 9.
I mean, if you're a social media junkie like I am, you see the tweets coming out about practice and you watch them going through. Just some fun tweets coming out from Reuben Pena about practice and seeing the guys out there having a great time. And that's the camaraderie. Like I said, you might even be going up against one of your teammates in a certain situation. So you're meeting guys from all over the county.
Thomas Rohr on to kick a field goal. We'll call it a 33-yard field goal for Rohr.
This might be the Thomas Rohr show.
Snap is good. Hold is good. Got the distance. And through the uprights. Rohr for the 33-yard field goal. Gives the Blue Stars. And he's initially supposed to play for the Red Stars, but as mentioned, Daniel Montez of the Blue Stars didn't make it. So Rohr will be kicking for both sides. Gives Blues a 6-0 lead.
Okay, but I think is it like 4 1/4 to 1 3/4, or Rohr doing the kicking for both, like you said, and that was a nice kick. No rush provided, just tee it up and get it through, and he's done a terrific job so far. Like I said, he made some big kicks at some crucial times. I don't think he really had the opportunities there.
Well, nor did he need to with Scripps Ranch putting up 40-plus points per game. But he did average 6 points per game. They were probably all on touchdowns, on extra points.
75 of 77, Bo. Pretty good.
Yeah, no matter what sport you're playing, whether it's free throws, whether it's... Well, obviously not batting average, but 75 of 77 for extra points. You talk about close games. Those are oftentimes the deciding factor. And the Falcons had themselves a good one in Thomas Rohr. Rohr line drives this one. It's brought in at the 5. Gets crossed 25 and is brought out of bounds at the 30. And with 1:51, the Red Stars are going to look to get something on the board here. Held scoreless after a few offensive possessions. And we will now send it down to Erica Cardenas with Xavier Yokley of the Blue Stars.
Hey, you guys, I'm here with Xavier Yokley. You guys should know who this guy is by now. Savi, huge play just now. Obviously led to a field goal, but we're out here having fun. Just walk us through that play.
That play, I know that the DBs are playing black, but I'm trying to get my blocks on so he can come forward a little bit, and the quarterback said go deep. He threw the ball, and I made a play.
The All-CIF roster came out. You made it on as a wide receiver, but you play every position on the field. Is there a particular one that you think you're best at?
Definitely best at is wide receiver, definitely.
So they were right. Okay, final question, Savi. Where can we find you? Where can we see you? What sports are you playing after football?
I'm doing basketball and track, so basketball right now, we're in the season, we're about to start league, and after that, I'll be doing track.
Woo! All right, anything you want to add?
No, man, thank you.
All right, guys, we'll send it back to you up top.
And Jaden Green picks up a first down, hitting his intended receiver out in the flats. Yoakley talked about playing against Jose Jackson in flag, so that's always nice to see. You talked about guys playing against each other, familiar faces. And Green keeps his feet moving, pushes the pile. With 1:25, I think Coach Marquez will call a timeout, and he will. Stops the clock at 1:20.
Yeah, well, look, I live in Lakeside, so I'm a Yoakley fan, right?
It's hard not to be a Yoakley fan.
I thought he was like Jefferson in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and they just flew the Yoakley brothers in for the games because they're so good. But you could just see him hanging out at Sarai's Taco Shop. I mean, that's the amazing thing about these kids. And look, Antoine, he's 4 inches shorter than Savvy, but he's also a classy player. And if it seemed like there were a lot of Yoakleys out there, don't forget his brother, pretty good player as well. And their older brother was a great player for the Vaqueros and a great
7
story.
brothers in that household.
Yeah, it's story well documented.
And Erica is now with another player on the Blue Stars sideline. Looks like she's with Kaden Gant out of Mount Carmel. Let's send it down to her.
Hey guys, I'm with the Sun Devil star, Kaden Gant. Kaden, you threw for over 2,300 yards this season. What do you contribute to that?
Honestly, I contribute a lot of the success to Coach Wesley. You know, he came in, he taught how to play these playbooks. It was really easy for us to learn. And honestly, also the receivers, they got great routes. It was a team effort.
We love a quarterback who puts the team on. You guys also went 10-3 this season, right? What was the best part of the journey for you? It's your senior season. As you look back on, what's the best?
The best part of it, just the whole team. We had great energy. We were like a band of brothers. We've known each other since like middle school, so it's just been fun playing football with them throughout my whole life. So carrying that all the way into high school brings a lot of experience. It's just fun.
You're leading the way for the Blue Stars. So much talent on this team. I know it's so different from playing with the Sun Devils, but what were you looking forward to most in this game? And is there anyone in particular you're looking forward to playing with?
I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to playing with anybody. You know, I like all the guys, nothing against them. But one of my defensive linemen on the other team, and we've been talking trash all week, so I just want to go up against him, so it's fun.
All right, final question for you. What do you love most about playing football?
I like winning, and of course, playing with my friends, but winning with your friends is probably one of the best feelings in the world.
Well, you won a lot this season, so congratulations, Kaden. Thank you so much, and have fun for the rest of the game. All right, Bo, Ramon, we're going to send it back to you guys up top.
And that was Kaden Gant with Erica Cardenas. You know, you talk about just good athletes and just great people. He gave all the praise to his head coach, Drew Westling of Mount Carmel, a guy we talked about. And you just talked about the little things. It seemed like Gant really learned a lot from a great coaching staff.
Yeah, he's very, very impressive. And we've seen some nice work out of Jaden Green here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the kid averages about 12 yards per pop, and he showed his elusiveness on one of those last runs, but a tough block.
Yeah.
An illegal block brought them back 15 yards, bringing up a 1st and 25. We're going to check out Green's arm. Has a receiver over the middle. And just overthrows Xavier Vann. He had a reception on the penalty, so that reception went void. But
yeah, he started the series though with a reception when we were with Erica, and then Green ran for the big gainer, and then the penalty on the other completion to Vann. And Vann got a chance to show Bo what his skill set is there, because look, Bo, I was at the All-CIF meeting. Xavier Vann was discussed for both either an offensive player
he was a
or
great two-way player. Kudos to him.
Maybe he just didn't have the stats to match up with those guys on offense, but on defense, he definitely is an elite player as well. It just made sense. All first-team defense, Xavier Vann, Helix Highlanders.
Vann, 5 interceptions, only had 30 receptions, so that might be one of the stats that you were talking about. Not an eye-popping stat, as the blue defense, that front 7 rallying to the ball, bringing down Green behind the line of scrimmage.
look, Drake and USD are looking at Vann. You kind of think there could be something a little more for him. Great pedigree.
Yeah, only 30 receptions, but averaged nearly 18 yards per reception. Had 6 receiving touchdowns on the season. So, you know, you talk, and he's been a two-way player for just not this year, but years before. He's really been an integral part of that Helix Highlander program.
And it was brewing up to this season. I feel so bad. I don't want to refer back to the spring season, but you know, a lot of these guys only got those 5 or 6 games. You know, funny, you can almost add the stats all together for some of these guys and say they had that much yardage, for example, in a calendar year. Some of these guys have had big year and a half, if you will, of football games, and it maybe has affected some things. Maybe, I don't know if maybe our athletes in San Diego could have had more offers. It seems like we're still fighting to get some, but
you know, with the transfer portal, that definitely doesn't help anyone's situation. You have big-time athletes like Xavier Vann, Savion Yokley, who probably would have had offers if it wasn't for COVID. But nonetheless, it's a great thing about sports. You got to overcome adversity. This is going to be a double pass right here. And the deep bomb near the 10, brought down by nobody other than Savion Yokley.
Yeah.
So Yokley just adding to the resume here today. Already with 3 or 4 receptions and now the big interception. And we're going to see this.
That was a real neat way to throw a Hail Mary there. As your guy Jordan
brought down by nobody other than Savion Yokley.
You know, he's a big play waiting to happen. He almost got his chance to throw a Hail Mary.
It's so unfortunate that he's just not getting more looks, because I saw him a few times this year out of Mar Vista. 6'2", 6'3", 185. Plays bigger than his actual size. Just a great downfield threat. Can extend the field. And really, it was just jump ball after jump ball to him. He only had 47 receptions, but had...
Only, right?
Well, I say only because he had 10-plus touchdowns. So about 25% of his receptions went for scores, which is a high percentage.
Practically 1,000 yards. It's tough to... Tough to Mar Vista. I mean, you know, you think of Mar Vista as kind of a churning offense, too, a little bit, a lot of the years gone by.
Well, Wojciech definitely is going to miss Mahan, the big senior out of Mar Vista. Under 5 seconds remaining.
Oh, we have another play. I was ready to start talking a little bit because, like I said, 6-0. I've had a really good time for a 6-0 game.
Ortiz, near side, throws it to throws it to the feet of his intended receiver. That was Lorenzo Miller out of Westview. Half second remaining, so still one more play here in the second half. We should be joined by Reuben Pena. I spoke to him before the game, and he said he was going to meet up with us, but knowing what he's dealt with before this game and probably during this game, I give him a 50-50 shot. But
we'll he's pretty good on this. He loves us. You see them always on KUSI in the mornings, and I've known these guys for almost 10 years doing this kind of work.
And Ortiz throws a jump ball far side. And that ball's brought down by Savion Yokley.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it almost every time, I guess.
And here's another replay. This ball was caught on
I've known these
Danny
guys
Davis
for almost 10 years.
Yeah, just plants his foot, lets it rip, go deep. Savion
Ortiz
Yokley
throws a jump ball far side.
And that was another nice 30-yard gain to end the first half. So Yokley
talked about Jose Jackson. Sorry, Jose.
Yeah,
you're great though. Jose, but
Jose is a spectacular athlete, two-sport athlete, basketball and football. But when you're going up against one of the better talents in all of San Diego, here's another replay. We're seeing it on delay, and just Yokley. I mean, 50-50 ball, like I said, is more like 75-25 when it comes to Savion Yokley. About a handful of catches, close to 100 receiving yards, and an interception. The front runner to our MVP.
Yeah, and no surprise, Bo, that he was also selected to the PPR podium, because I really thought that maybe he might not qualify because it's Division
of
III,
a smaller school.
But you just look at the overall body of work, right? Like I said, as a quarterback too, and when he wasn't quarterbacking, El Capitan brought in a quarterback, Bruce Newland, who's a tall pocket passer, and would run that exact type of play to Savi every time. And I mean, you saw the interview with Erica. I mean, he's such a charismatic young man. I want him to get the opportunity that he wants. He's one of the stars of this game, so that's why we're kind of talking about him extendedly a little bit. But man, you just think at 6'4", yeah, we want him to bulk up a little bit, but that comes with it.
That comes with time.
So he needs that opportunity. I really think he like I said, he'd love to be an Aztec.
Well, you get guys like Jesse Matthews, right, that are at San Diego State having big games in bowl games, and then you look at star players like Yokley. Jesse Matthews wasn't really a guy that was getting a lot of looks, and he goes to San Diego State, makes a name for himself, and hopefully we can hope the same for Xavier Yokley.
Well, you look at some of the guys that have rolled through lately and end up at San Diego State and, going to the next level also. The great job by the Aztecs.
And there he is, Reuben Pena. Come on in, Reuben. Let's have a chat. We spoke to Montel a little bit.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How does it feel just to get this game going? Obviously, a lot of ups and downs getting to this game. We might not even play it, but now that we're playing, how does it feel?
Well, I have a mask on, but I'm smiling.
Okay.
Okay, I'm really smiling. I'm happy that the guys came out. I'm happy that we had some guys drop out last week because of the COVID protocols, but we came back and regrouped and picked up some other players and filled in the gaps, and they're back out there. It's not what we're expecting right now. Usually at the SDFNL Allstar game, we get a bunch
high-scoring game.
High-scoring game.
Yeah.
Right now, this is probably the first time for the 8 years we've done it, the defense has actually come out and dominated the game.
Well, me and Ramon were talking, and this is actually a fairly clean game. You see a lot of sloppiness, a lot of miscommunication, obviously not a lot of practice time, but both these sides putting on quality play here tonight.
You know what? That's a great point because last week it rained.
Right.
So we limited the practice to probably about an hour and a half, and then yesterday we were pretty much in shells. So these guys pretty much only got about 3 days of practice, full practice, and then of course that half day, and they've been doing good, man. They're football players, man.
Yeah,
they know what to do. They've struggled with COVID, since probably the freshman year, man.
Right.
And they're still doing it, and I'm proud of them. And whatever the outcome is, whatever we can do to help them in the future, that's what we do. As SDFNL, we assist these young athletes get to the next level.
The opportunity. That's always been big with you guys.
Exactly. And nobody else is doing it.
Right.
That's what separates us from everyone else.
Well, there's people doing it, but just not on the level that you're doing
Absolutely. And that's a great level that we're at. And I'm proud of that level.
Yeah. Just talk about, there's a lot of success stories, obviously, in 8 years that you and Montel been doing this. Even beyond that, what are some of the stories that stand out to you the most?
I think the one couple years ago, Rashad Griffin, when he picked up that pass in the end zone for the winning touchdown, I think that one really sticks out to me. We had a game down in Helix when we had a bunch of, I think it was our second game, and my son was on the staff too, and Montel's son was on the staff, and the whole staff was made of nothing but guys that had just graduated from high school, and we competed. And I think it was Jason Carter. It was Achilles Smith, I think, was on the other side. And we competed. They competed with them, and it was a great game. And those kind of games stick out to me. And I'm glad to be here. I'm happy to be here. And we'll do it again. You know how it is. The season takes forever, but it's great. I love it.
Reuben, when you guys start to seek out the athletes for this game, we talked about how the Spanos game, yes, that is the game for maybe the top players. And Makasi Bowl, that's only one team, so that's always going to be some good players. And we're not downgrading this game at all, but this is because you guys are searching out these particular type of athletes, looking for that opportunity, like what Montel likes to say. You guys actually look to match guys up with schools that maybe play a fit. Now, of course, he wants to bring Division II back to California and make it a little bit closer, but he actually goes about trying to find the right fit for some of these kids.
Yeah, how do you choose these kids?
So the first thing we ask him is, what's your GPA? All right? Because if you're not passing in high school, you're going to have a very difficult time passing in college. We'll be wasting your time, and you'll be wasting their time.
Wow.
So make sure your GPA is where we want it to be. If it's not, then maybe junior college is a route to get your grades back up. It might take you a little bit longer to get there, but it is what it is. So, I'm pretty sure each and every one of the guys here at least got a 2.5 GPA.
Bo, every time we've kind of profiled the guy on the fly after making a play, we're throwing in the GPA. And Reuben, I just got to know, because I've watched the growth of SDFNL. I've known you guys for almost a decade doing this kind of work. I want to say you came in kind of as a media guy, and Montel, with all his connections and how he helps this level of athlete, characterize for me the relationship between you and Montel, and maybe also how your interactions actually came about. I imagine more than 10 years ago.
So me and Montel are friends beyond this. My son and his son grew up together since they were like 7 or 8 years old.
And both doing very well.
They're both, yes. We're both proud. We're proud of both of them. Since they were 8 years old, they played in the same Little League team. They played in the same Pop Warner team. As a matter of fact, I used to be the commissioner for San Diego Pop Warner.
Doesn't surprise us at all.
Okay, so Pop Warner left for some reason. We brought Pop Warner back, and me and Montel were the big reasons why Pop Warner was back into San Diego. We brought back about 8 teams into the city, and we make that pretty. I was pretty proud of that, but I had enough of that, so I moved on. And quick story. Paid this guy about $1,000 to help my son come out of country day to get him recruited. Guy just took my money, took off, and I told Montel, look, I don't want this to happen to anybody else. You have the connections. I can help out. Let's bridge that gap and let's get it together and let's make a difference and let's help. Let's see what we can do to help. We're just trying to. I mean, Ali Musa, just for example. He was at a practice yesterday, all right? Second year. I mean, I would have never thought, like, he's over in the, I think it's Chadron State, and he's successful over there. He loves it. Weather's not the problem. He loves going to school over there, and that's my gratification, to see that Ali Musa is getting a scholarship. Not only he did fine in school and everything, but we helped him at the All-Star game.
Well, you're obviously a great success story, and people, that's all they're seeing is the success. And it's a great story because oftentimes in success, you have to deal with failure. And that was just something you just mentioned right now. When you talk to these athletes, right, you talk about the good GPA. What are some of the things you've learned through this process and growing with SDFNL?
Be positive. Be super positive. These are youngsters. They still need guidance.
Right.
Even though they're 17, 18, they're still kids, man.
Yeah.
And they'll always need guidance. I mean, I have son, he still needs my guidance. So I kind of developed that kind of relationship that way to them, just thinking like, what if this guy was my son? How will I speak with him? How will I evaluate him? How can I approach him? So yeah, that's pretty much.
And Montel actually spoke before the game in that no matter how old you are, we need a mentor. We need someone to guide us, and that just seems like kind of what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, and I'm that's the biggest thing for me is just seeing this guy succeed.
Yeah.
And seeing them go on their own, and like I told him last night before we broke practice, it don't matter if you go to work when you get out of high school. It don't matter if you go to college, go to military. Whatever you do, you've got an edge on this other person because you played football.
Right.
And football is pure discipline.
Right.
If you bring that discipline to whatever you put your mind to, you're going to succeed, guaranteed.
Well, you talk about discipline, you talk about overcoming obstacles. It's those things that have helped you and Montel get to this point, and both of you guys obviously playing the sport and raising your kids to play the sports as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's the greatest game in the world. Yeah. It really is, man. I'm smiling right now, right under this mask, man. But when I say that, it really is the greatest game in the world.
So 8 years into this showcase game, right? What are some of the bigger lessons you've learned? And what's the future looking like for SDFNL?
The biggest lessons I've learned is just giving back to the community of San Diego and giving my time. I mean, I have a full-time job myself, and SDFNL is a pretty much full-time job itself, and just giving back to the community, and just being positive and making sure I pass on what I got.
Yeah, Bo, and let's not forget the work that Reuben and Montel do in the preseason. They put together a big showcase of games. They play a series of scrimmages now. We talk about how, Reuben, when you first started, I think maybe there was 4 or 8 teams, and now everybody wants to play in the kickoff classic, and you guys have already started getting teams set for that, and we're not even in 2022 yet, but Bo, everyone who goes to that game, you bring a can of food and you can get in and see a couple of games. It's just a great event, and these guys are the real deal.
Yeah, well, other than this All-Star game, talk about what you and Montel do throughout the season.
So throughout the season,
I'm sure it goes by in a blur. For
it does go. It's kind of like you guys. Yeah. I mean, like I was telling Paul, Rudy the other day, and I was speaking with somebody else about it, and I was like, we're all part of the football season.
Right.
You know, we look forward for the off season, but by January, it'd be like, damn, I wish I was back on the field. And I was
you miss it. You miss it.
You know, let me go back to what Pablo, right? What he said, okay? On the Kickoff Classic.
Right.
All right. 2 years ago, we were the #1 fundraiser for one day for the San Diego Food Bank.
Wow.
Okay. That right there on its own, we got a plaque and all this stuff, you know, got an award, went to the event, whatever. But that right there is part of us giving back to the community. This is big, but feeding people that are hungry, that don't have anything to eat, been there, done that. I'm glad that we can be part of that. Absolutely.
Yeah, so we talk about the sport of football, and we talk about people who are successful later in life and giving back to the community. It seems like football players and just athletes in general, whether it's overcoming the obstacles or growing up in lesser environments, I guess you can say, that like to give back because of their experience.
Yeah, and I'll go back to again my speech last night when I spoke to the boys that, you know what, you could be wherever you want to be, you can give whenever you got. Your zip code does not define who you are or who you're going to be when you grow up.
Right, that's up to you. Right? It's a choice.
That's totally up to you. Whether you lived in that zip code in North County, whether you lived in this zip code down in San Diego, wherever it was, it don't matter. If you give your greatest effort, you're going to succeed.
Well, one coach that really comes to mind for me is Coach Verlaine out of Mater Dei. He always talks about coming out of the inner city and just growing up and being bigger than that, being better than that. And then Erica Cardina was down with Jamari Jordan out of Morris, and he talked about football just really being an avenue for him, keeping him out of trouble. And obviously with this All-Star game, it's just another day, another opportunity to not get into trouble, and obviously good things come out of that.
Okay, so and the good thing about that, let's just talk about Jordan, we can get him out of that where he's at. We can send him to somewhere different that he's never seen before.
Right.
Get him around surroundings that are different.
Right.
You know, and make it positive for him. Whether it's him going again to the military or him going to a college in Nebraska.
Yeah, and one thing a lot of people don't mention is guys staying home and playing. It's oftentimes some people would think that's advantage, but it's often a disadvantage because you're hanging around with the same group of people who are now not doing anything because the high school sports are over. And so getting those guys out of the community, getting them away from bad.
Just make it an aside, but every week after the college games, you see Montel take the time just to find the kids from the area, not only the guys who are playing Division I, but all of those guys that I talked about, the schools that you see that have offers on the table here with these guys, Black Hills State, Southwest Minnesota, Bethany, Clark, and puts the stats for those kids that got a chance to play in those games. If anybody watching this game, juniors and sophomores to be questioning what I can do to, what if I don't get that Division I scholarship? How do I get on the road with these guys? Make sure you get in contact with Montel and Reuben if you really do consider yourself a mid-level college prospect, and then go back and look at some of the things that Montel tweets out about all the successes that players have. His tweets, some players get referenced 2 and 3 years down the line because all they're doing is building their lives, getting their education, and playing football on Saturdays. And Mom and Dad can watch them. There's several streams. Every team is on stream, you know, that we're working with, and you can see the successes that they have, and that can be you at the next level. It doesn't have to be SC. It doesn't have to be even state. Some of these schools present those great opportunities and life-changing opportunities. How many Reuben athletes have come back from those schools and visited you, right, and told you about their whole new life, right? Because they've gone off to college, gotten a degree, and are ready to proceed thanks to football.
Yep. And I tell the kids, like, San Diego's going to be here. If you go away,
right. Best thing I did in college was go away.
Yeah. You go away, go.
You're gonna get your lumps. You're gonna get your bruises.
Yes,
It's gonna be a little difficult.
Absolutely, but you're gonna learn. You're gonna grow up. You don't have mom and dad anymore. You're gonna appreciate them.
Right.
Trust
right.
me. You're probably second or third month into college. You're gonna freaking say, "God, mom and dad did so much for me."
Right.
And then when you come back home, you're like, "What can I do, Dad? What can I do, Mom? How can I help you?" You know, I'll be like, "Hey, who is this kid?"
So obviously, it takes more than just you and Montel. It takes more than a couple people to really create a village and a community like this. Are there some people you'd like to send shout-outs to?
I'd like to send a shout out to my wife, Trish.
The better half.
Yeah.
The better half.
No doubt, she puts up with me. She doesn't. Friday nights, she knows it's my night, even though I should be taking her to dinner. But you know, and she totally understands that Friday night I love doing this, and she supported me. I mean, I've been married to her for already I'm gonna guess here. All right, I'm gonna guess here. So
Are we rounding
it's
up?
gonna be about 28 years.
Oh
okay?
wow! Congratulations,
Yeah.
man. That's awesome.
So
talk about overcoming adversity. 28 years.
Right? And I mean, I want to thank Montel, his wife also. I've seen Montel's kids helping us. My kids have helped me in the past. And
Well, I did this game with Montel's with Montel Jr.
Yes.
At Helix, and that was like a 45-42 barn burner. So this game is a little different here tonight.
And I also want to thank my photogs because, you know, they've been great, man. And
Cali Photo and Nicole.
And Nicole and
Rich
Rich Gerberland, they brought the action. I mean, their photos are unbelievable. We talk about video, we talk about doing live streams and everything, but photography is a whole different role, and they've been awesome. They've been with me since day one of this year, and I'm glad to have them on board.
Well, and still, Bo, I'm proud of Reuben for all the work that he's done with the media and highlighting high school football. But let me tell you something. I think you know this. He's kind of a trendsetter. He's kind of a visionary with the way he's presented high school football on social media. And I applaud you for that as well, my friend.
Yeah, if I've taken anything away from this conversation, it's more than just about football.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of great things that come out of football, and that creates a better future for a lot of these kids, creating opportunities. So we're gonna have an MVP at the end of this game. It looks like Yoakley is the lead runner.
Well, I think Thomas Rohr might be in the
Ramon
lead
Scott
right
mentioned
now,
that as well.
man.
Obviously, he has all 6 points.
Reuben, what if he kicks the winning field goal for the opposite team, right?
So check this out. Let me tell you something about Thomas Rohr, man. That young man made a difference for that team, for Scripps Ranch.
Oh, for Scripps Ranch.
Yeah,
Okay.
they won by 3 points. They won by 9 points. This guy wasn't missing, man. This is a top kicker in San Diego, definitely, absolutely, no doubt. All right, he's not. If they get him back on that field, look at him. Look at this guy. We're talking about him. Look at this guy. It's a 40-yarder, man.
Right, easy.
Yeah, like nothing, man. But I got Thomas Rohr right now.
Yeah, okay. Well, less than a minute coming up to start the second half. I told Montel this before the game. We have MVPs on the field, but you guys are the real MVP. You guys do a great job in the community. I thought my partner put it well. Trendsetter.
Yep.
I mean, when you guys lead the way, others will follow, and you guys are the right people to lead that.
And
so
thank you guys for always supporting us and being part of it.
You guys make it easy for us, man.
Okay, right
You
on.
guys make it. So props to you, man. Thank you very much, Reuben Pena.
Absolutely.
That was co-founder Reuben Pena of SDFNL. And this is the 8th season. I don't see this showcase slowing down. It seems like the momentum, it seems like the speed is picking up every year.
Like I said, the real deal.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
100%.
Just to see the way they do. I mean, I'm not saying it's, a small time thing, but it is. It's mom and pop in a way.
Right.
But Montel, he's selfless in dedicating his time. Yeah, I mean, it's a business to him. He has another career as well. But again, the successes that the players achieve, that he gets, from other coaches around the country, that all works out in the end for everybody. So.
And that was our halftime show, ladies and gentlemen. We are now heading into the second half. Blue Stars 6, Red Stars 0.
See, I told you.
And you did.
You're not going to disagree with the founder, are you?
No, I was thinking a little different. Obviously, skill guys I have more of a love for.
And Whaley also has looked sharp as well.
He just hasn't gotten the looks. I know before the game and speaking with a couple people, he was a little banged up. Whaley was. He wasn't 100%.
He's definitely moved the ball on his opportunities.
Yeah. So Red Stars will start the second half with the ball. This is Thomas Rohr. Reuben Pena was speaking about him. He'll kick it to the goal line. Looks like Jose Jackson will take it out from the goal line. Crosses the 20 to the 25. Actually, that was number 5, Abraham Perez out of Escondido, the running back. Looks like Clash Osborne will start the second half for the Red Stars behind snap.
Rohr didn't get the look that maybe he deserved on the All-CIF team, but Joey Cheek, pretty great year for Cathedral. But don't forget junior Charlie Rosenthal of San Marcos. She led the county in successful
I got to
field
interview
goals.
Charlie, and she's about as amazing of a person as a kicker. She just started. I mean, literally was at a park.
Great soccer player, though.
Yeah, well, great soccer player, but she was just at a park kicking a football. John Carney, out of all people, come up to her and say, hey, what do you think about playing this for high school? And she said, why not? And became a star at San Marcos.
Right. I mean, look, we've seen successful female kickers. I think of Huff of Grossmont. The sisters that came along were pretty great, too. But Rosenthal, just as legit as those. Like I said, county leading 7 field goals as a junior. Maybe we'll see her in this game next year.
And that was Kavion Jones out of Christian.
Yeah, Kavion spent some time. He's got the trifecta. Bo, he played at 3 different high schools. He also played at Santana and Crawford, but ended up at Christian. Had a pretty good year last year.
And the pressure up the middle again by the blue side. That's number 24 out of Morris, Jeremiah Sokimi. Mentioned his name a few times tonight. Just came off the line untouched. And another sack for Sakimi.
Yeah, and I maybe was wrong a little bit. Yeah, there have been some explosive SDFNL games, and maybe that's the nature of this level. I mean, I broadcast that Spanos game too, and they've been, real low score. Yeah. And here we have seen some scores, definitely. I've been following this game since its inception.
Osborne has his receiver, and that is dropped. Steel Canyon's Kaika Bell, or excuse me, it says Steel Canyon, but it's University City's Kaika Bell in his midst, just unable to bring it in.
Yeah, Bell, 24 receptions, 5 TDs. He'd like to have that one back. He's a pretty good sprinter as well. Runs the 100.
Yeah, Bell was second on the team out of University City behind Troy Granfors, the junior. Had 5 touchdowns, but really helped that University City team get to the championship game in San Diego, obviously losing against a tough
you knew
Patrick
University City, even with Cooper, I mean, he was great, but you knew University City would come back. I mean, they were just good a couple of years ago. Went down so fast, you knew they'd come back up quick, and they did it with some great talent.
Had some big transfers. Cooper was one of them out of Lincoln. Rohr on the punt. Will kick at the 42. That's Yoakley, wanted the return, but the ball rolls out of bounds near the 42, and the Blue Stars will have good field position to start the second half.
Yeah, so now that we got the discussing of how the defense, and we're still having a good time, now let's try to see some offense, though. I don't know if you can really make adjustments in an all-star game like this, but we saw what the Blues already trying to do, and it's number 4, Salvi Yoakley.
Yeah, Yoakley has been the guy here today. He lines up wide at the top of your screen. Whaley in there as the fullback. The pitch far side, that's going to be a double. It's going to be a pass, actually. Didn't pass it. Yoakley wasn't open, but has some room. Gets through the middle near the midfield. And Jamari Jordan? Is that who that was?
Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah.
Really made probably most of his impact on defense with the Tigers, but we've seen him a couple times, I think, make some gains here.
Jordan has his position on the roster as a DB, but there's been a few switch-ups, obviously, with everything culminating to this point of injuries. And
just standing 5'5", 165, but fun to watch.
Gant back in the game. He hands off to Jordan again, and he's brought down in the backfield for a loss.
Elias Kitache of Mount Carmel there again. 3.0 GPA, had a very successful season for the Sun Devils. 67 tackles, 4 sacks.
That tackle for loss will bring up a 3rd and 3. Matthew Jaime in the slot. Xavier Vann at the top of your screen. Gant will keep it. Roll left. Has his receiver in the flats, just unable to connect. His intended receiver, Dylan Gilmore, out of Del Norte, will bring up a 4th and 3 for the Blue Stars.
Gilmore, second team All Palomar League, two times second team All Palomar League. That's one of those where, you know, the practices, it probably works better because things are going a little slower. Here he just threw it behind him.
Clock stopped at 10 minutes even. 4th and 3. Blue Stars offense stays on the field. Jordan in the backfield next to Gant. Gant will toss near side. This is Jordan. He'll try to get to the edge with his speed and does. Gets in red territory and picks up a 1st down for the Blue Stars.
Boy, great job there by Jordan.
Yeah, nothing fancy about that. Jordan just using his speed to get to the edge and find some extra green for a 1st down.
Well, if anything, we've seen the blue a little bit more successful than the red, I would say, in moving the ball, hence their 2 field goal lead.
And we have an official timeout. Maybe an injured player or equipment malfunction. We see one of the referees talking to the assistant coach.
I couldn't think there'd be any kind of equipment ruling there. I don't know, he's motioning to some type of padding or covering on an arm, maybe some blood. I don't know, we're going to get back at it here.
Ball lies at the Red Stars 46, 1st and 10. Gant remains in the game. Next to him is Darian Whaley. Whaley will get the handoff up the middle. Breaks through a couple tackles, gets to the edge, has some room, gets past the 1st down marker, kicks it into 5th gear, and the biggest play on the ground by both sides goes to the Dons running back, Darian Whaley.
You know who I saw in
Whaley
there?
will get the handoff. Up the middle, stuffed in the back, breaks through a couple tackles, gets to the edge, has some room, gets past the 1st down marker, and you can see the speed once he gets those feet moving, untouched.
You know who I saw pushing guys aside in there too was Francisco Estrada of San Ysidro, Bo.
And Red Stars didn't like what they saw on defense, so they called a timeout. But you spoke about him over the halftime, and Darian Whaley making his impact felt on that drive, or on that handoff at least.
Yeah, Blue's done a nice job. You know, there was a little bit of discussion that the Red was having some problems getting all their interior men wrapped up. Now some of the guys, you know, I don't know if there was a lot of two-way work out there. They were trying to make sure that they had all the positions covered, but they were scrambling a little bit for some personnel over the days heading up to practice. They probably solved that with the 1-week delay. This game was supposed to be played last Thursday at Granite Hills High School. They practiced Monday, had to stop, came back this Monday, 3 days of practice out here tonight at Mission Bay High School.
Well, you talk about coming into this game. I'm looking at the roster and the coaching staff, and I'm saying, hey, Red has a great advantage. Matt Marquez has been with them the whole way. You look at the blue side, they went through 2 different coaches to get to Coach Rickard Dooley. Another handoff to Whaley, shakes and bakes, slips a tackle, gets through another one, and runs out of real estate. So Whaley starting to find his groove here in the 3rd quarter. And he'll step off for a breather. Still walking a little gingerly.
Yeah, maybe we could talk a moment about the Cathedral Catholic Dons. I guess there's been some talk about moving them. Look, they're still going to be great. Even if people want to put Carlsbad #1 heading into next season, I don't think I'm seeing it that way. When you're being tossed about as a possible entry into the Trinity League, I don't care how many players you're losing, this Cathedral Catholic team is going to be at the top for a while.
Yeah, they have to. They're a San Diego team. They have to remain in San Diego. Gant holds and keeps. Great open field tackle. That was Keller Feltman with the open field tackle. Oh, no, that's not Keller Feltman.
Oh, that's Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Bell, the Uni Centurion.
So plus or minus, the over-under on 10 mistakes for players, we're probably at 5. So we're looking good for the under right now. And Ledesma on the carry dives forward to the 10. And another first down for the Blue Stars. Bringing up 1st and goal. 5. So we're looking good for the under right now. And Ledesma
didn't have a lot to work with, but
dives
he showed
forward
some quickness and elusiveness here today
and another
out of the backfield.
Ledesma on the roster, marked down as a defensive back. Ledesma will get it again, gets to the edge off the right side, has some room, and walks in for a Blue Stars touchdown. Hunter Ledesma finishes the drive with a 10-yard score. Let's get that instant replay again. Ledesma showing his quickness. Untouched.
Ledesma will get it again,
Gets to the edge off the right side.
And
has
goes
some
in
room,
untouched.
And walks
Great
in
job
for a Blue
by
Star.
Ledesma.
Great blocking up front as well. Obviously leading the way was big number 42, tight end out of Mountain Empire, Lucas Spencer.
Oh, Luke Spencer, great year for the Red Hawks and Coach Corey Vann out there at Mountain Empire. And quite a good basketball player as well, Lucas.
So our first touchdown comes with 7:43 in the third quarter. And it looks like the Blue Stars up 12-0 will go for a 2-point conversion to go up 14. Gant switches directions, plants, and gets shut down in the backfield for a failed 2-point conversion. Was that a Mount Carmel player bringing down a Mount Carmel player? Switches directions, plants, and gets shut down in the backfield for big number 58 from the Red Squad. That's defensive lineman Elias Kadichi.
Yeah, wow, that was neat.
Yeah, so you talk about playing against guys you've played with for the past 4 years, and you can see Gant jumping up on Kadichi. That's great to see. You got to love to see that.
Yeah.
And after that score, Blue Stars 12, Red Stars 0. Red Stars got into Blue Stars territory, I want to say once in that first half. So they haven't really gotten in scoring position. They're going to need to get something going.
Well, if we see Clash Osborne come in, Xavier Vann, they're two that could definitely hook up.
Well, I mean, you talk about big-time receivers. I'm looking at the red side. Xavier Vann, one-play hitter. Matt Martin out of Mission Hills playing against top-quality opponents in the Avocado League. Obviously, Gunnar Hensley really liked him. Jordan Mahan, a receiver out of Mar Vista, big-time receiver, can stretch the field. Haven't heard from him much today. So the Red Stars definitely have the athletes on the outside for a quick score, and we will now send it to Erica Cardenas, who's on the Red Star sideline.
He needs to zoom out. He needs to zoom out. Can't take a shot. He needs to zoom out.
Red team comes up.
Hey guys, I'm down here with Jaden Green from San Diego High School. She's our quarterback tonight. Jaden, she's huge game tonight. You're playing with all the best talent in San Diego. How special is this to you?
I mean, it's a great opportunity to come out here and be able to compete with the best in the city. So it's just a blessing to be able to be any one of those places.
When someone says San Diego football, what should come to our mind? What should immediately hit us?
I mean, the first thing that you should think of is Coach Charles James. I mean, he turned the whole program around from the bottom up, and you know, last season was his last season, so it was pretty emotional for us. But I mean, he came, he got everybody opportunities to play at the next level. So I think that's what you need.
Why do you say it's emotional?
Well, he's done so much for our program, and this being his last season, it sucks that we couldn't go out and win a championship for him. But you know, and he knows we did everything we could to make this last season.
On that note, what was your favorite memory from the season? It's your senior year. What are you going to remember when you look back?
I mean, in my opinion, it was just a blessing to be able to get back on the field with the full season and be able to go to school, see my classmates again. So I felt like that was really special.
Okay, final question for you. Where can we see you next? Are you playing any other sports in high school, and have you committed to anyone?
Yeah, so I'm running track right now. I took a year off basketball to get ready for college, and I'll be
What are you playing at Morgan State?
I'll be playing quarterback. I'll be competing out there.
Anything you want to add?
Nothing. I'm just really excited to get back out here on this next drive, and I can't wait to get out to college. So go Bears.
Thank you, Jaden. Enjoy the rest of the game. All right, guys. Someone tell him to watch The Wire because he's going out too. We'll send it back to you guys up top.
And that was Jaden Green, the Caver quarterback. He talked about Coach Charles James being an impact on him. Obviously, them falling short 31-28 in the opening round against a tough Christian team. But you talk about Coach James, you talk about the program that he built. Jaden Green, obviously a great person after listening to him with that interview. So San Diego and the inner city schools are definitely going to miss Charles James and the San Diego community for that part. This is Von out of San Marcos, dragging some players to the 40. Green, you know, talked about him playing quarterback but using his legs. We saw that in the first half. What are you seeing right here on this drive, partner?
Well, first off, we finally did get a chance to see Matt Martin pick up a gainer. Definitely one of the more high-profile athletes in this game. Kind of unusual. He actually carried the ball, and to me, he's a really good one-on-one type of athlete in this
Well, when you play
situation.
in the Avocado League, you're playing against the best talent, so this is just another day for him playing against these stars out here.
And then we get a gainer, so we got a
Blues bringing the pressure up the middle. The pass near side. Receiver went up and got it. Will they call it a completion? It looks like they will. That was Jordan Mahan on his first reception. Just an athletic play. I mean, even if we could run that back, it was a simple 5-yard reception. We're not going to be able to, unfortunately, but it was just a ball thrown. We can see it on our end right here, but, you know, a tough ball just went up and got it.
People don't like the term high point, but maybe what they don't understand is it means the receiver has jumped up and caught the ball at the highest possible point that he could catch it at. So I'm not saying that one was right there, but we saw that Mahan can really go up and get it.
That reception by Mahan results in a first down at the red 43. Osborne has some time, throws it out, had it as receiver open in the flats, just unable to connect with Armando Rodriguez at Otay Ranch, bringing up a 2nd and 10. So on that one, Osborne, pocket was collapsing, but he did create a little bit more time, just backpedaling, sensing the pressure, something you like to see out of a quarterback.
Yeah, Yomando, 6'1", 215, can play as a tight end in this game, but also saw time at defensive end during the regular season. He had that big touchdown against Hilltop, but he's got a lot of schools looking at him. Ottawa of Arizona, Ottawa of Kansas, Iowa Wesleyan, Kansas Wesleyan, and Arizona Christian all taking a look at Mondo.
Osborne looks near side, a quick hit to Mahan. He brings that ball in for about a gain of 5. We'll bring up a 3rd and 5. So a
couple quick hits to Mahan.
Kansas Wesleyan and
receptions
Arizona
for about
Christian.
10
I'll
yards.
take a look at Mondo. There by Sokimi.
Osborne looks near side, a quick hit to Mahan. He brings that ball in for about a gain of 5.
Red's got to cash in here, get something done. This is nice. It's not, haven't even crossed midfield yet, but they've held on to the ball a little bit. Key plays coming up here, 2nd and 5.
Osborne will hand the ball up the middle. Running back gets a gain of 1. I would assume on a 3rd and 5 run, they're going to go for it on 4th. Usually you see that. When an offense knows it's 4-down territory, they'll run it on 3rd down to create a
Did I say, yeah, is it 4th? I'm sorry, Bo. I can't see that far.
I've made plenty of mistakes today. You're still catching up to me
Well, I got those 53-year-old eyes, but Nathan Bentz was there to make the stop for the Tri-City Christian standout, 6'3", 265, leading the tackle for Blue.
All right.
Actually have crossed midfield.
It's a big play right here. 4th and short, Mahan at the bottom of your screen. Xavier Vann at the top. They're going to go to Vann on the out route and just unable to hit Vann. Vann was one-on-one on the outside, went to the out route. It might have been an option route, might have been the out route, but unfortunately, Clash Osborne unable to connect with his intended receiver.
Yeah, he was covered by Gio Burns, so a couple of Grossmont Hills League foes out there on the flat. So I haven't really necessarily seen Clash. And look, his game isn't necessarily a deep ball game. I mean, Mission Bay.
No, but, I'm just looking at on the replay on the side, and Blue, that front line is bringing the pressure. So Osborne, really, I'd say in his last handful of passes, really hasn't been able to step into a pass because of the pressure up the middle. Even that one incomplete pass to Rodriguez, I mean, there was hands in his face. So this is a double reverse.
The ball's dropped. It's on the turf.
Reverse the ball on the turf and picked up by the Blue side. And that ball was going to Yokley, and it did look like Yokley
even that one
had
incomplete
some
pass
space
to
just a great
Rodriguez.
drop right here.
I mean,
there was
quick
hands
toss
in his
to
face.
Jaime.
So
Jaime
this
pitches
is a double
it back.
reverse.
The ball's dropped. It's
and
on the
Yokley
turf.
had some room. That would have went for at least a first down, if not more. Coming up on the 3-minute mark, Blue Stars 12, Red Stars 0. Here on the Cali Photo Sports Network, I'm Bo Fertig alongside my partner Ramon Scott, bringing you today's action here at Mission Bay High School. It's just great to have football. We've said so many times this will be our last broadcast, but I think we can safely say this.
Is there anything we can do tomorrow?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Is there anything we can call tomorrow, Bo?
Oh man, you can catch us here on the Cali Photo Sports Network, broadcasting Southwestern basketball. Elijah Ortiz to the far side, a beautiful ball to Yokley, just unable to drag that foot. Yokley thinks he has a reception.
Yeah, not only that, we're going to
catch us here on the Cali Photo Sports Network.
And the corner was about 10 yards off of him.
Elijah Ortiz
a beautiful
to the
ball.
far side.
And
a beautiful ball.
He knows he dropped it because, look, Bo, he did his push-ups. He knows he dropped it. He was penalizing himself.
Oh, that's why he was doing push-ups, you're saying, because he dropped it.
He dropped the ball, right? He thought he should have had it. He thought he should have had it. So
a beautiful ball, just unable to complete the catch, falling to the ground.
I tell you, he looked terrific in that game in Dallas. Nothing explosive, but I'm just talking about the way he stood amongst the other great players.
Ortiz will look towards Yokley again on the comeback route, fires it short, and that will bring up a 4th down for the Blue Stars with 2:19 remaining in the third.
Great year for El Capitan. They fell just short in the big game against West Hills out in the Grossmont Valley League Championship, but Yokley, tremendous year. 4th and 20, maybe 19, but
Ortiz is just going to boot this one, more like a squib kick. It could be returned, but the ball is muffed. Ball still loose. And it looks like Red came up with it.
Well, the aesthetics, Bo, you talked about how well the first half was played. We're getting a little clunky here.
Squib kick.
But
it could be returned, but the ball is bumped.
To give
Ball's
us a
still
drive.
loose.
They got the ball right back in some
that looked like
field position.
San Ysidro's
And it looks
Makai
like
Jackson.
You know, Bo, I want to go back to something Montel said about possibly playing this game at Petco Park and how close they were. I'm not going to put any words in anybody's mouth, and I don't know if anybody actually said this or if this is a public record, but if they could have went down there the very next day, the Padres may have accommodated them, because one of the things that was going to limit them, I think, is the construction is ready to resume on actually taking apart Petco Park and putting it back to the baseball configuration. So the Padres weren't being, lame about it. Construction had a schedule. We already know they lost a ton of money doing that because they couldn't play the game, tearing the stands up on the first base side. Here's a completion for the Red.
Yeah, Jaden Green with a nice pitch and catch to Kaika Bell out of University City.
Construction had a schedule. We already know they lost a ton of money doing that because they couldn't play the game, tearing the stands up on the first base side. Here's a completion for the Red.
Number 88, Keller Feltman. And we have
Keller, first team All-League, two-time first team All-League.
Cardenas, sorry to interrupt you, partner. We have Erica Cardenas on the red sideline with Helix two-way player Xavier Vann.
Hey guys, down here with Xavier Vann from Helix. Xavier, just talk about the program. Helix football is widely known here in San Diego. What's it like playing for Helix?
It's awesome. It's really good brand of football over there. Our coaches hold us to high standards, academically and on the field. It's really fun.
Senior year, you guys obviously had a standout season. What's it like playing with all these guys on the field, all this talent for the last time?
I think it's really fun. I think it's good to learn something new from all these different players from different schools. And get this extra work in.
Do you have any offers from colleges that we might know about?
I have USC and Drake and SMSU, and I'm taking a couple of visits and stuff in the future this January. So I'm still keeping my options open to figure out where I want to play.
Are you leaning on anyone so far?
Not yet. Like I said, just trying to keep my options open. Right now, I don't really have any favorites.
All right, we'll stop leaning on you. Final question, Nate. What's your favorite thing about being a football player? The game teaches you guys so many things about character, putting your heart on the field. What's your favorite part?
My favorite thing is the bond that you create with the players. Like it really becomes a family. Like they're all your brothers. Not just love. Being able to play on the same field is nice. Have a lot of fun.
Thanks for your time. Have fun out there. All right, guys. X-Fan from Helix. You guys will know his name for sure. We'll send it back to you up top.
All right, thank you, Erica. That was Xavier Vann out of Helix, the two-way player. Matt Martin with the big reception right there, bringing up a 3rd and short. They're going to try to get the ball off before the clock ends. They do. Green goes over the top and overthrows his intended receiver, Feltman.
Yeah, they had a couple of gains on that series with Kavion Jones out of Christian, and Matt Martin picked up a nice gain. But Bo, Xavier Vann, you just think of his athletic ability. And like I said, they talked about him being first-team wide receiver in that room. It just made sense to move him to the second team, but he could have been not second team, but to the defense.
Right.
With All-League, because I think when you look at some of the other awards too, he was recognized for some of his offensive successes as well. So I think he actually was voted All Grossmont Hills League on offense.
Did Christian Washington have any effect on X's numbers on offense? I've never seen a running back in a section championship game and a state playoff game with 40-plus carries. That's like unheard of.
Yeah. Well, you talk about bell cow. I mean, Helix rode him. But as the season went along for Helix, you talk about Rylan Jesse and, the battle that there was a battle with Ortiz, because a lot of the write-ups, when you read the paper, the comments going into the season that Ortiz was going to compete with Jesse. But Jesse ended up getting the spot. And as the season went along, especially as the games got bigger, Jesse continued to do a pretty good job and actually expanded his role a little bit, getting the ball to Vann. I thought that they did much better in the second half of the season, completing passes to Jesse to Vann. So let's see the Red get that goose egg off the board, Bo.
Start of the fourth quarter, 3rd and short. Green, the quick hit to Von out in the flats, and he just runs over a defender.
Got it. Does he got it? Oh, yeah.
The open field tackle by Cody Johnson, the defensive back out of Montgomery. And it's Johnson right there on this replay. 3rd and short. Green,
he was going to have to lay the lumber
in the flats,
or just take a hit
and
not get ran over. And I thought Johnson did a great job in taking the legs out of the bigger player, Van Out.
Yeah, Van Out played in the Spanos game as well.
He did.
So definitely a strong player.
Yeah, great job by Van Out in knowing where the first down marker was. But I would say even a better job by Cody Johnson in knowing that he was going up against a guy that was 50, 60 pounds bigger than him. But still did a great job in open field with the tackle. This is Green. Plants. Throws the receiver over the middle. No, unable to get it. That was Mahan who had a step on the defensive back. Just Green unable to connect. We've seen a few receivers downfield open, just yet to connect on a big play for the Red side. And I think Erica is now down on the Red Star sideline with Mirror Mesa's linebacker, Josiah Luelfy.
All right, Josiah. Guys, we're down here with Josiah Luelfy, Mirror Mesa Marauder. Josiah, just reflect back on this last season with the Marauders and what special was it?
This year, it's a real special season because it's the first time I met Coach Johnson. I was here for a couple months. And then he's the only person to believe in me in like my high school career, at my old school. I didn't really get the chance, but as soon as I got here, he put in all like his belief into me. And unfortunately, I didn't get to play with him, but I really dedicated the rest of that season to him because he was a very good coach, and he was just a great man overall. And unfortunately, we couldn't cap it off with that CIF run, but we did our best for him.
You already took it there, but I'm going to ask you, when you think of Coach Thompson, is there kind of a saying or something that stands out that you used to tell the team before, that the team used to talk about, that you're going to remember for the rest of your life?
There's one, I can't say that, I don't know if I want to say the word, but he said there's no B word in us, so pretty much that's like saying that we're going to fight no matter what, and that no one's going to throw us around.
All right, there was a great play for the red team just now. You guys have been doing great on defense. What's been going right for you?
We're doing a good job stopping their run, and then we just got to lock down on the pass, and after that, we should be solid.
All right, Josiah, final question. Where can we see you play after this game?
Next week I got a game for La Jolla Rugby, but after that, hopefully maybe at like Claremont McKenna or somewhere else out there for a D3, hopefully a D2.
All right, guys, keep your eye on Josiah Luelfy. Josiah, thank you so much. Have fun out there. All right, we'll send it back to you guys up top.
And Green, after the big reception to Jordan Mahan, walks in for a Red Stars touchdown.
Well, how about the catch we saw in the celebration down there? I wish we had Tim down there to get in position, but Mahan made that all happen.
Yeah, he did.
Give Green a lot of credit. He put that ball. We haven't seen balls
back
put on the
shoulder pass, but Mahan went to the ground to get it.
Yeah, he towed the line beautifully and made the catch inside the 5, and then Green, we know, can run it in, but a great catch, really.
And here it is right here, just a play fake. And
Green is so quick.
Green, after the big reception to Jordan Mahan,
3-4 yards
downfield untouched in the second level. There's not too many guys that can catch him.
Great job, Red Stars.
Yeah. I mean, obviously a big score needed, down 2 scores. And Roar, with 2 field goals on the day for the blue side, has a successful extra point, brings the game within 5. But we talked about the big play receivers, right? Xavier Vann, Jordan Mahan, and Mahan made it happen on that big reception inside the 5 to set up that touchdown for Green. Green has also shown the ability to throw the ball a little bit. I'm looking at Green's stats, and obviously we know the Cavers to be a running team. 28 pass attempts, only 1 passing touchdown on the season. But when you average nearly a dozen yards on the ground and 10 total touchdowns rushing, I mean, easier said than done sometimes.
Well, Green's a kind of a dynamic player, not necessarily your prototypical quarterback, right? But in high school, he did a fine job, especially running it the way the Cavers do. But he does have 7 career touchdown passes. I mean, you play for San Diego, you're going to play for almost all your entire high school career there, and Green's been a part of that.
Yeah, Coach James doing a good job with that program, bringing in Green. Yeah, that one of the tougher losses in playoffs against Christian, 31-28. I did Luelfy.
Yeah, I want to get back to that
because he did mention Thompson.
Oh,
I know you couldn't hear it.
Oh gosh,
but
I know. I was reading his lips. I got to tell you.
Right.
Let's just take a moment, sir. I mean, look. Maybe I heaped the accolades on Coach Gardner, and I'm not saying that Coach Thompson was overlooked by anyone,
right?
Or Coach Rodriguez,
of course,
because
who stepped in for
right.
Mira Mesa.
I mean, I actually tweeted out right after the Mira Mesa came back and won that big game against a team from I believe it was L.A. Here's the Coach of the Year, and you know what? In the back of my mind, he still is,
right? In
a way, because just think of the emotion
to overcome, right?
Every day, fans like us went through, feeling the pain of the Mira Mesa Marauders, and the incredible season that they had, unbelievable season that they had, considering the circumstances. Really a story, and did a KUSI great job honoring them at the gala, and. Maybe the 3 champions are the story of the year, but if there really is something to think about, this whole situation, the Mira Mesa Marauders, for me, really stand out this year as something I'll always remember.
You know, Luelfy talked about not finishing the job, but winning the Eastern League, I mean, says a lot about Mira Mesa and what they went through this year.
They had some great talent on that team, and you wonder how they were going to fight through that. I mean, they still had issues after that tragic week.
Yeah, Coach Thompson won a state championship with Greg Bell and Bonita Vista Barons at Southwestern College. I was there to see that game. Greg Bell had the game-winning touchdown. This one,
and it's still caught.
Almost went the other way. That was through the hands of Michael Savage out of San Diego. Let's run it back. And Bonita Vista Barons where you see all that green in front of you. You just have to bring it in for the score. Touchdown. This one,
and it's still caught.
He knew he had it. He's going to be dreaming about that one tonight. The other way. Savage shaking his head.
And the ball was still secured. It's a loss on the play.
And we have Erica back down on the field. Looks like with Mission Bay QB, Clash Osborne.
Okay, guys, I'm with the star, Clash Osborne. You guys already know this guy. Clash, second All-Star game, and this is on your home field. How does it feel to play the last football game here in your home?
I mean, I was super happy when my coach told me it got moved here. I didn't want to play my last game on the other field, so doing it at home is great.
You're leading the way on this side. What's so special about playing with so many All-Stars?
I mean, a lot of these guys are my friends that I've been known from, like, working out and stuff. Like, my friend Jaden just scored touchdowns. I mean, I love to see them do this.
You're known to be a leader. For all those who are, trying to ball out and they have a season coming up, or for the young kids at home watching, what have you learned in this journey playing football, and what can you pass on to the next generation?
Just work hard, get with the hardest worker in your program, someone older, and just stick with them, let them show you how to do it.
Love that. Are we going to see you in any colleges? Have you decided? Have you gotten any offers? Just tell us a little bit about that.
I have a few D3 offers right now.
Learned in this journey playing football, and what can you pass on to the next generation?
Just work hard, get with the hardest worker in your program, someone older, and just...
Any favorites so far?
Not right now. Once I get out there.
It's okay. We'll talk later.
All right, final question, okay? What's your favorite part about being a football player? The sport teaches everyone so many things. What's your favorite part?
I mean, I just love football as a game, and also just the bond with the friends you make in it. That's pretty much it.
Thanks so much, Clash. Enjoy the rest of the game. All right, Bo, Ramon, we'll send it back to you guys up top.
All right, thank you, Erica. That was quarterback Clash Osborne. 56 total touchdowns on the season. But Blue starting to move the ball right here. Matthew Jaime with a big reception from Elijah Ortiz. He already has a couple big plays on offense. This is Ledesma again, spinning off a tackle, staying up, and brought down at the 25. Ledesma showing great elusiveness here tonight.
Been one of the stars of the night. We're going to take another
look. With a big reception from Elijah Ortiz.
Whaley, the lead block.
Big plays on offense.
Goes up the middle, gets hit at the legs,
spinning off a tackle,
and just drives his way forward. Brought down by San Pasquale's Danny Davis. Ledesma again. Or no, Ortiz keeps it off the left side and pushed out of bounds.
I want to shout out on that run, Eduardo Ortiz, the 6'2", 290-pounder out of Morris High School. You Tiger fans remember Eduardo as number 60, and he was helping push the way there for that big gainer.
That run by Ortiz brings up a 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8. Coming up on the 8-minute mark.
Clash, though, and you talk about his stats, but what a career, really.
Right, no, exactly.
And the repertoire that he had with his receivers, just really, really sharp.
Ortiz play fakes, rolls right, has his receiver in the flats, hits his intended receiver, and is pushed out of bounds at the 15 by Jose Jackson. So we've seen that play a few times. This time it was successful to Del Norte.
Really sharp.
Dylan Gilmore. Just
Ortiz
a simple play fake, rolls right
from the shotgun.
Has his receiver in the flats, hits his intended receiver,
Gilmore,
and is
33
pushed
catches, 3 touchdowns this season. Also a baseball player, 3.46 GPA, 6 foot, 185-pounder.
Brings up a 3rd and short. Ortiz with Jordan in the backfield. Jordan gets the handoff, switches directions, keeps his feet moving, stays up, gets inside the 15, and a great job by Jordan. Looked like he was going to be stopped a few times. But Ortiz with Jordan in the backfield. Jordan gets the handoff.
Look at the lateral movement
keeps his feet moving, stays up.
Jordan picks up the first down on the run inside the 15.
Jordan must have had a fun couple of days of practice knowing he was going to get this much action.
Yeah, with Darian Whaley a little banged up and Braden Brashears not being able to play today, the blue side had to go with some backups in the backfield. Ortiz, near side, throws a jump ball. And unable to get there. The intended receiver was Lorenzo Miller, just came off the line a little slow. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Under 7 minutes remaining, Blue Stars 12, Red Stars 7. Third and 10.
You think the Blue Stars aren't into there? They're really crouched down there trying to get this big decisive score.
Jaime in the slot at the top of your screen. The pass in the end zone. Unable to bring it in. That was number 9, Giovanni Burns. Burns was pressed on the line. Good job using his hands, in the end zone. Brought in the catch, just unable to bring it in bounds. And that will bring up a fourth, or actually the third down. The third down marker remains third down, so I'm not
ball
sure.
Was caught in there, just obviously didn't.
Nice ball by Ortiz. Threw his receiver open.
Didn't get it in. Christian Heinrichs, Classical Academy on the coverage.
Ledesma back into the game. Burns at the top of your screen next to Jaime. Ortiz will roll right. Has a receiver in the end zone. And brought in for a touchdown. San Ysidro's Matthew Jaime. That ball was intended for Mahan, who was open. Overthrew his intended receiver.
And the duck, duck, goose. There's a goose loose on the field.
It's the referee that went in and got the egg.
Back into the game. Let's check out this. Screen next to Jaime. Replay. Ortiz, great job. Right. Pocket collapse. Has a receiver right, and the end zone. Time. Maybe that ball was intended for Jaime. Mahan was also open on the deep dig route, but Jaime running across the field finds some open space and another touchdown for the Blue Stars.
Yeah, you notice he actually put his hand and like pulled it back, maybe knowing that he had his teammate behind him. It was a
Mahan, right? He did not going up for the ball because he definitely had an opportunity.
Take a look at that. We're looking at it in here, but
yeah, that ball was definitely intended for Jaime. I take that back. Great job by Ortiz creating that time and space.
And there it is. There's the touchdown pass.
That's right.
For Ortiz. Very happy for him.
And the 2-point conversion. I formation with Whaley as the fullback. We'll drop back. Back shoulder pass near the pylon. Was it brought in? Yes, it was. And that was Xavier Vann with the 2-point conversion. So we've seen Xavier go up for a ball. We've seen him on a couple of hitch routes, and we saw him as we see this replay again. I formation with Whaley as the fullback. For that front pylon. We'll drop back shoulder pass near the pylon. Great job by Yo. And was it brought in? Length. Yes, it was. Even if that's well defended, it wasn't poorly defended. Obviously, the corner wanted to give him space, but
it looked like an adjustment by the quarterback to actually, make sure that he wasn't throwing it a place where it would be defended.
Right.
And he had to come back and make that diving catch. And again, we get to see the talents of Yokley. Really deserves an opportunity. Bo really deserves, I think, a good opportunity. At
the next level.
That's all we could say about it. I mean, pretty sure everybody in this county is a fan of his. So, 20-7.
Stars down 2 scores with 6:39 remaining in the fourth. Red Stars switch fields, crosses the 20, has some room and some blockers. Jose Jackson. Oh no, that's not Jose. Number 32. Out of Steel Canyon, Davison Langfeld. You're an East County guy. Langfeld, a big name out of Steel Canyon.
Yeah,
Red Stars,
putting together
switch fields, crosses the 20, has some
County
room
team.
and some blockers.
Davis,
Jose Jackson.
He just missed. With all due respect to David, he was an all-league performer. He just missed on all East County, but great year for the Cougars.
Jaden Green back in for the Red Stars.
You never see him back up like that, but that worked that time.
Green looks deep, and his receiver stopped running. If his receiver would have kept running, he would have had a chance. That was Matt Martin out of Mission Hills.
Yeah, Martin probably holds as many offers for those schools out of any player here. Whittier, Messincordia, also interested. So Black Hills State, a lot of interest in Martin.
It helps when you play in the Avocado League against top talent, obviously out of Mission Hills. Coach Hauser doing a great job with that program. One of the best coach programs in all of San Diego.
First team All Avocado, you mentioned.
And Carlos Hopper into the game. Next to Green. Xavier Vann at the bottom of your screen. Hopper will get the handoff up the middle. And he'll pile drive his way forward for a gain of 5. Bringing up a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, it's good to see Hopper in there. That swirling Sweetwater running game that we all know so well. And he had 600 yards of it with 7 touchdowns, a couple of 100-yard gains. Also carries a 3.6 GPA, 5'8", 178. Sweetwater, nice season.
Back-to-back Metro League champs in the spring and in the fall.
If you enjoy that type of football, they are wonderful to watch.
Well-coached team. Green steps up in the pocket, doesn't have anyone downfield. He will use his legs and steps out of bounds inside the 30, for another Red Stars first down. Let's check out this.
If you enjoy that type of
instant
football,
replay.
they are wonderful to watch.
I love to see him keep his
Green
eyes
steps up in the
downfield.
pocket,
Steps up in
doesn't
the
have anyone
pocket, nothing
downfield.
there,
He will
and does what he
use
does
his
best with
legs.
his legs.
If you're going to pick a star of the Red Stars, Green's emerging right now as the man this evening for Red.
Clock ticking. Oh, actually, no, it stopped on him running out of bounds. Green. Xavier Vann at the bottom of your screen. He's one-on-one. Green will look far side. Doesn't see anything. Steps up in the pocket. Hits Mahan near the first down marker. Green doing a great job showing his pocket awareness with pressure on the edge, just stepping up in the pocket, allowing some more time for his receivers to get open downfield.
We mentioned Mahan so many times tonight. I mean, to me, he was one of the most underrated receivers in the county.
No doubt about that. I had him in the regular season leading all receivers. Obviously, the stats are sometimes tough to come by on max preps, but just under 1,000 yards in the regular season, one of the better receivers. Green steps up in the pocket, eludes pressure, rolls right, and just throws that one out of bounds, not before getting laid out. But great camaraderie right there by Ryan Leonard, Westview, providing the pressure on Green.
Ryan Leonard, what a story for Westview. You know, he's the son of Julie Leonard. She passed away back, he was, I think in 5th grade. But, you know, they've had an annual game at Westview named in her honor, the Julie Leonard game, when they play Mount Carmel. They ended up on the short end this year, but Ryan Leonard, 38 catches, 2 touchdowns, and, you know, he wanted to show out in that game against Mount Carmel, but just to play in the game named after his mother. Of course, it was named after Julie because she had worked at both Westview and Mount Carmel. So, nice story for Ryan to play in the game, honoring his mother.
Green to the end zone, had a receiver, but got hit on the throw. It looked like a wheel route on the near
just for
side.
a moment, it looked like a window.
Yeah, it was definitely open, but
so nice
as we can see right here, Green
for Ryan to play
did
in
a
the
great
game,
job in eluding pressure, but
honoring
not
his
this
mother.
time.
Green to the end
Got hit
zone,
on the
had
throw.
a receiver, but got
Had
hit
Van
on the throw.
over the middle. But when you're throwing, falling backwards, it's tough. It's not easy.
No, Green's done a nice job. You talk about the
Green
pressure,
has been impressive
but
today.
he's elusive enough too to buy himself some time.
Big 4th down right here. Green over the middle has Van. Van inside the 10, inside the 5, and he spins in for a Red Stars touchdown.
Well, we get to see the offensive side of Van there, the Highlander. Nice
It looks
job,
like a little
X.
hide and seek action from the Red Stars. Go get him. Who's going to get tagged? Great stuff. Great stuff by Xavier Vann.
We're going to take another look
let's
at
check out that
Van.
replay.
We're not going to replay these celebrations.
No, great job by Green, though.
right
Obviously,
here.
you
Green.
got running back in the flat,
Over the
creating
middle
that
has
space
Van.
with the
Van
linebacker
inside the
coming out
10,
to guard
inside
him
the 5,
and opening the middle
piece.
wide open for Van. And Van, with his quickness, he really needs just 3 or 4 yards of going untouched, and he's off to the races.
Yeah, and you actually saw Matt Martin, who made that was the one who made that play, and you see Van's holding some type of belt there. They must have something they scrambled up down there for the the Red Stars. But Martin saw the play develop and saw the effect that he had on the play and celebrated almost as the touchdown was even being scored, knowing that he had made a great play.
And that block extra point leaves the game at 20-13. That was Ryan Leonard out of Westview with the block.
Great job, Ryan. Martin
Ryan
saw the play
at the
develop
bottom
and
of your
saw
screen.
the effect that he had on the play and
Just
celebrated
goes in unblocked.
almost as the
Great
touchdown
job
was
by
even
Leonard.
being scored,
Yeah, I don't
knowing
know.
that he had. But I guess the field goals, we don't have any pressure, but the PATs are fair game.
Right. Yeah, normally in these All-Star games, you just get a free kick.
Well, here's the thing. I just scored you guys 6 points, and now you're rushing me, but that's okay.
that is actually a good point. But let's talk about Jaden Green. 1 rushing touchdown and now a passing touchdown.
Oh, great job by Jaden. Like I said, he might be the Red Star of the game, doing a great job. And hey, this one's not over, especially now in the second half. We've seen it was 6-0 at halftime, Bo. We've seen 4 touchdowns.
Well, the big knock on Green was his downfield ability to throw the ball downfield, and we've already seen a couple nice downfield throws. Unable to connect, but his short to intermediate game has been on point tonight.
Look, he's not throwing them like Derek Carr, but he's showing his best arm strength, and he's got some guys that have found themselves either, like you said, not all the connections have been there, but right now he's clicking.
Yeah, and so there.
Oh,
I'm assuming there is no rush.
Did I make the call? Or
well, I mean, someone had to make the call.
Me. They're not listening to us down there.
No, they are not.
Okay, can't block the kick, but
a good thing for them.
Put that one on your reel, anyways. Well, that was true. Because it's a 7-point game, and I don't know what the rules are of the SDFNL All-Star Showcase game for overtime. I imagine there might not be any. But now it's a 6-point game.
Now Thomas Rohr has 8 points on the night, 2 field goals, and 2 extra points.
Well, he's done a great job, but we've seen some standouts here from both sides.
Yeah, Savion Yokley from the blue side, and Jaden Green, along with Xavier Vann, a couple big grabs on that last offensive possession. Matt Martin with a couple receptions as well.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Vann made some plays as well. And for the blue team, I think we have those favorites that you mentioned.
Oh, I mean, another player to mention was had a couple grabs, Jordan as well.
So 4:21 to go. Just need to stop here really and get the ball back if you're the Red Stars. Like I said, the history means nothing. I don't know the history of this. I mean, I do know a little bit of the history of this game, but I mean, winning and losing red and blue, that doesn't matter, but it does to these guys that are in the game right now. You want to win the game.
Yeah, it's not like the Spanos where it's North versus South, and it's like that every year. New coaching staffs, new players. I mean, they could really come up with any name. Blue Stars, Red Stars, Purple Stars, for Shining Stars for all that matters. But nonetheless, it looks like Red Stars might come out with an onside kick, the way Rohr is setting up on this kickoff.
There's plenty of time. You don't need to get too creative here, but you can see, look at the blue, doesn't even have anybody.
No.
Up man is at the 20, so
and it's going to be a pooch kick.
Pooch and a fair catch.
And the fair catch brought in by Lincoln's Adrian Granderson.
So I think we're starting to see, dare I say, a little bit of strategy, not kicking deep there, just trying to make sure, Blue's got some explosive guys. I guess we're playing to win a little bit.
Well, you want to send these guys off with a win. I spoke with a couple coaches, and they always talk about in this game, a lot of these players ended their senior season with a loss. So I want to send them off in their high school career with a win. Yeah. So as important as it is to these players, I want to say even more important for these coaches. Because we talked to Reuben, we talked to Montel, and those guys, just like these coaches, are doing it for these kids. This is Whaley up the gut. Whaley picks up a gain of 5, bringing up a 2nd and 5.
Just remember, all these players, not all, but many of these players we mentioned, especially when we mention the schools that are interested in them, look back next year. Look back, even if it's not next year, 2 years down the line when kids become sophomores and then juniors, and see how they've progressed, if they've made it at some of these great schools that come out to California and get the talent, like Concordia and Clark and Doane College in Southwest Minnesota, Hiram College, Ottawa of Arizona, Ottawa of Kansas, Baker U. All these schools that are really, really familiar with players coming out of this game, thanks in part to the work of MBA Sports, Montel Allen. Like I said, I've had a relationship with those guys. I remember them kind of just starting their coverage out, and we swapped banners on our websites with my old partner, the late Bill Dickens, who talked to Montel, learned what he was all about, and that's what Bill loved to do, was promote players. And so Montel continues to do it to this day with Reuben, who does a great job on Friday nights and all throughout. And again, can't underestimate that. The preseason kickoff classic is awesome.
This is Elijah Ortiz on the rollout through the hands of his intended receiver.
The thing that you look forward to is the kickoff classic that's the start. That's like the start of the season, right? You're like, I'm going to go to that.
This year it was held at Granite Hills.
The guys are where, they don't even know sometimes who's out there. It doesn't matter.
Again, can't underestimate that.
So you can see
the
Ortiz.
Preseason kickoff
I like
classic
to see
is awesome.
the blue side stay aggressive with the play
This
fake.
is Elijah Ortiz on the rollout
to his
through
left
the hands
against
of
the
his
grain. Threw it right in the numbers, just unable to bring it in. So it's a 3rd and 10. I didn't see who that timeout was called by. .308 remaining.
If this were a football game, there would be a lot of noise right now. It would be a regular season prep game. The fans would be ready to get on their feet and really scream and yell at this situation.
I would say if we can get maybe Tim Gahn on the field to show the stands on the home side, I would say the home stands are pretty full.
Oh, yeah, it's nice.
From sideline to side, from end zone to end zone on the home side.
Yeah, we didn't occupy. Not occupying.
He's on the opposite side, so. Yeah, our cameraman on the field is on the opposite side of the home side.
He gave us a look.
But I mean, really from end to end on the home side, it's packed full of stands. So a great show out today.
Especially after a 1 week delay.
Of course. Elijah Ortiz looks near side, has his intended receiver. Xavier Vann makes a move. Stays in bounds and crosses into Red Stars territory for a blue first down.
Pretty big play there if you're trying to wrap up a football game.
1 week delay.
Picking up a first with under 3 to go.
Jose Jackson
looks near side, has his
was
intended
going
receiver.
deep on the 9
makes
and
a move.
just stopped, came back, easy first down, nice pitch and catch from Ortiz to Yokley. Jose Jackson has had a tough test today guarding one of the better athletes in all of San Diego.
Savvy's played basketball so far in the winter. Maybe not this. I don't know if he's seen every game because of the practices this week. I don't know what El Capitan too much was up to, but
Jordan up the middle, gets brought down behind the line of scrimmage. And Matt Marquez of the Red Stars will call a timeout to stop the clock at 2:22.
He's seen every game because of the practices this week. I don't know what El Capitan
one more
too
first
much
down
was
for
up
the
to,
Blue Stars, and this
Jordan up the middle.
This game is all about
gets
over.
Brought down behind.
Oh no, the blue. It looked like the white cap pointed towards the blue side.
Yeah, well,
as if they called the timeout.
I don't even know if we're keeping jackets on timeouts, but.
Leading the way again, Elias Kadichi out of Mount Carmel on that tackle for loss.
67 tackles this year. 3.0 GPA for Elias.
Second and 12. Blue Stars. I would actually, even if they do get a first down, I would love to see them keep moving forward. Obviously, we want to win, but we want to give these kids as much opportunity as possible, and that one catch, that one interception, that one scoop and score can make a big difference. Second and 12 at midfield. First down marker is at the Red Stars 38. Looks like we're going to have Yokley at the bottom of your screen. Matthew Jaime at the top of your screen. Jamari Jordan in the backfield to the right hip pocket of Elijah Ortiz. Ortiz will look left. Has his receiver over the middle, Matthew Jaime. Jaime, or no, excuse me, that's number 13, or no, number 18, which I don't have.
19, I think, maybe David Friedman out of Santana.
Elijah Ortiz.
Yes.
Friedman, corner giving a lot of cushion.
Left.
Linebacker moving out of the window.
Over the middle, Matthew
Jaime over the middle. And nice pitch and catch from Ortiz to Friedman. Friedman's first reception on the night.
Friedman was kind of a big play guy on offense and defense for the Sultans this year. Second team All-Valley League as a defensive back and had some big interceptions, but also could catch passes. It seemed like every week he was intercepting a pass.
Ortiz keeps it, rolls left, has his receiver in the flats, and is cut down. Incomplete pass.
Well, that's going to continue to leave the game in the balance, Bo.
I love to see the aggressiveness
Ortiz
of Blue.
keeps
Had
it,
41
rolls
in the
left,
flats.
has his
Great
receiver
job
in
in
the flats,
coming up and
and
making
is
that
cut
tackle.
down.
That was number 25, or yeah, who do we got? Number 25, Akaika Bell out of UC.
He kind of got pushed into the play.
Well, he was on a block, so for him to shed that block, get off the block, and make the open field tackle, to create an incomplete pass, if that ball's caught, the clock keeps running. So the incomplete pass.
So here's you go. You have fourth down. I don't know what you want to do.
I love to see them going for it. I love to see this.
Well, maybe they said you can't have our kicker anymore.
Jamari Jordan in the backfield. Savion Yokley at the bottom of your screen, guarded by Jose Jackson.
Hey, the fans are into it.
Elijah Ortiz rolls against the grain. Has his receiver. Did he bring it in? Yes, he did. A big grab by number 9, Giovanni Burns.
The fans are into it.
Ortiz rolling
Elijah
left,
Ortiz rolls
throwing
against the grain.
stops.
Has his receiver.
Throwing backwards.
Did he break?
Throws it on the money to Burns for a big first down. And that might be the clincher right there. Great job by Ortiz in keeping that play alive. And he's just going to go ahead and kneel it. Well, you know, we talked about who Ortiz is. Who is this Elijah Ortiz, right, out of Helix? And he's shown patience. He's shown the ability to roll left, roll right, throw on the run, throw the ball downfield, and throw the ball on the money when necessary.
And that was a game-winning play right there.
Right.
Really buying his time, using his role, and it seemed like he did a little pump fake there, I think, and then threw the completion to seal this one from Mission Bay High School. The Blue Stars are going to win over the Red Stars at the 8th SDFNL Showcase game.
Like now, like get him like right now. And hopefully we can catch up with Nick Ricarduli, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to, unfortunately. But nonetheless, that ends the 8th annual SDFNL Shortcase. It's the Blue Stars 20, the Red Stars 14. What do you think, partner?
Well, hopefully everyone had a great time. You know, there were people here watching this game from schools representing. They're still looking, and they'll still be looking, and this film is going to be out there on YouTube for other coaches to see as well. So I think that's going to be important so that they get their one last look, if you will, for opportunities, because not everyone that's leaving this field. Some people have just taken their final snap of their careers. Hopefully that's not the case for many of these athletes, but it is the reality. And these guys, every guy on this field has had a terrific career, and that's why they've been rewarded with this opportunity to play in this special game, Bo.
So we don't have the final decision on who the MVP was.
What?
Let's break this down, red side, blue side, okay? So I'll start with the blue side. I mean, you have to give it to Yokley, I would think. handful of receptions, big plays downfield, and an interception as well. Who do you got for the red side?
Well, I think for the red, I would probably... Green actually came through, I thought, with a big effort. Are we going down? I thought Green came through in the second half and was terrific. I thought Xavier Vann also pretty special. Shout out to Thomas Rohr for kicking for both teams. That's kind of cool that we had that in this game here tonight.
Jordan Mahan also had some big plays.
Also as well. Elias Kadiche on defense for the red, but also want to shout out.
Michael Savage was also another guy that stood out, almost had that pick six. Josiah Luelfy was another name we mentioned a few times. And we now have Erica Cardenas with the winning coach from the blue side. Take it away, Erica.
All right, guys, I'm here with the winning coach, Coach Nick Richarduli. Coach, lots of roadblocks to get to this game. Thank you for showing up. What's it like to coach an All-Star team? How special is it?
Well, it's a lot of fun. Just really proud of these kids. There was a lot of adversity thrown at them this week. And they overcame it. And we asked a lot of them. Had a pretty hefty playbook. They picked it all up and did a great job. Couldn't be prouder.
We know you got a whole ceremony going on, but Coach, lots of talent coming out of San Diego this season. What's it mean for San Diego football in general as a whole, and just the coaches here, the players here? What do you have to say about San Diego football?
I think the future is bright. We set the tone this year. 3 state champions coming out of San Diego. A lot of talent coming back next season. I think that the state of California is just starting to see San Diego's nothing to mess around with.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. Congratulations. All right, Ramon, we'll send it back to you guys up top. There's a celebration going on behind us.
All right, great job, Erica. Great season to you. Obviously doing a lot with the Prep Picks and Report and the field reporter for this game and the Alex Spanos game. Coach Nick Richarduli, he's a free agent, Ramon. He coached at Rock Academy. He's a free agent. He told me he has his options open. Obviously a great way to end the 2021 season.
Hey, hats off to all these coaches and the time that they put in with these athletes, putting some of their holiday time on hold for 2 weeks, right? After what happened last week, and they volunteer their time out here with SDFNL. And also thank you to Mission Bay. Thank you to Granite Hills. They wanted to host Mission Bay High School hosting, and I think everyone had a great time here tonight. I thought it was an entertaining game. It came down. Maybe didn't.
It was competitive, which is the biggest thing.
Didn't come down to the wire necessarily. Did have to get a late first down there. We finally saw some offense in the second half, and some good performances too that you mentioned.
So MVP for the blue side, Savion Yoakley, a handful of grabs, a score, a 2-point conversion, and interception. And for the red side, I think Jaden Green with that second half performance, a rushing touchdown, a couple big throws when it counted, and a passing touchdown like Xavier Vann.
Yeah, great job by all those guys. Like I said, they're out here trying to get one last chance. And again, for juniors, sophomores, maybe watching this game, this is a game to point for. And look, if you're good, you're going to make it to those other games. You might get that great opportunity. We see so many guys, especially just the last week or two, making that jump to the next level. But this is the next level as well. When you get these opportunities to go to some of these Division III schools, it's an opportunity of a lifetime. It can change your life, and it's changed the life of many, many student athletes from our area. They're announcing, I think so.
Yeah, they're announcing the MVPs.
Green.
So Elijah Ortiz on the blue side and Jaden Green on the red side. And I thought Ortiz had just as good as a game as Green did.
Look, so fitting for Ortiz.
I would say so, yes.
So if there was one guy you want to see kind of out here tonight, get his opportunity and his big chance, it's Elijah Ortiz. He started at Grossmont High, ended up at Torrey Pines, 3-star quarterback, might be the highest level player in this game technically, didn't really get his opportunities to play at Helix because of Rylan Jesse. And we know that Helix, obviously they're going to go with Jesse, and that's what happened. Ortiz took his chance, stayed with the program. I'm not saying he was rewarded here tonight with that MVP, but for him, look, we saw, especially on that throw to the end zone, what he can do. And you know, there's got to be an opportunity for a guy like Elijah Ortiz, considering he's a 3-star quarterback.
So many people to thank in this game. Obviously, a huge thanks to Montel Allen and Reuben Pena, who caught up with us today, pregame and halftime. Obviously, partner, you and me have done some great games today, or this year in 2021, but today was just the icing on the cake for it all. Obviously, an all-star game and the way it ended. Big thanks to our producer, Pablo Espinal, obviously, for putting this all together. Our cameraman, Tim Gahn, Kevin Bear, and our field reporter Erica Cardenas. I'm Bo Furtick saying happy holidays to one and all. We will see you next year in 2022. Take care.